Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another broadcast here on the Sailfish Sports Network. I'm Michael Brown, ready to bring you pitch by pitch here this weekend as Palm Beach Atlantic plays host to the University of Tampa for a three-game Sunshine State Conference Series here in beautiful West Palm Beach, Florida at JM Jake Rubin Park. We're going over our pregame lineups by our public address announcer at the moment. Let's go ahead and get you squared away with how they look here for the nationally ranked Spartans. Defensively first, in left field will be Stevie Mangrum. In center, it's Danny Blair. Sam Freitas is the right fielder. Around the horn in the infield at third base, it's Nick Durr playing at the hot corner. Nick DeTringo mans the shortstop position. Mikey Navarrete is the second baseman. Alec Aliewine over at first base. Danny Servin is doing the catching duties, and Kevin Pimentel is the starting pitcher for the Spartans under the leadership of longtime head skipper Joe Urso. We'll go ahead and give you the Sailfish starting lineup here as Palm Beach Atlantic is back home for the first time in quite some time. Leading off, it'll be Derek Schwimmer. Sean Houck bats second, plays third base. Danny Tuffarello has done a good job the last few weeks in the 3 spot. He's back in there again at first base. Brandon Seltzer bats cleanup, batting in the 4th spot and playing left field. Connor Rowland, the DH again tonight. In the 5th spot, Brandon Smith batting 6th and playing right field. Riley Harold at shortstop bats 7th. Marcos Perez does the catching and bats 8th. And Ramon Machado at second base bats 9th. It'll be Mitchell Carroll towing the rubber for the Sailfish, as he has pretty much every Friday night this season. We're looking forward to a great series here between Palm Beach Atlantic and the University of Tampa. PBA coming off an exciting series win at Barry University down in Miami Shores last weekend, and the University of Tampa making some history they'd probably rather forget with a 3-game sweep on the negative side for them last weekend at home against Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, who came into the SSC last year as a full-time member along with the Sailfish, and it was the first home sweep of a Tampa baseball team since 1981. Yes, you heard that correctly, 1981. So you know the Spartans will be motivated and ready to get back in the win column. We'll take on Mitchell Carroll, who has been hot of late himself. He's 5-2, making his 11th appearance on the year tonight. A 2.75 ERA, 55 2/3 innings pitched. Over that time, he's struck out 52 and walked just 19. So a guy who strikes out almost a batter per inning and has the walks at a reasonable rate as well. Palm Beach Atlantic entering play tonight at 289 as a team, whereas the Spartans, known for their solid baseball program throughout the years under Coach Urso, will try to get off the schneid from last weekend. They bat .312 as a team, so a team that we expect to swing the bats pretty well, put up some runs. The Sailfish will look to match them in that regard as well. Regarding the pitching staff, they also pitch it pretty well. Kevin Pimentel, who's the starter tonight, is a very solid 7-1. He's making his 11th start as well, so very similar outing numbers. For the year, the senior, who is a University of Miami transfer, has 57 strikeouts in 62 innings pitched and just 18 walks. So very similar numbers for Mitchell Carroll and Kevin Pimentel, the counterpart, who we'll see in the bottom half of the first. Sailfish wearing their alternate navy tops here with the white pants, white and navy hat. Most of the team keeping the pant legs down, so socks-wise, we'll assume they're probably navy as well. On the other side, the Spartans wearing their red tops with the white pants and black stirrup socks for several of them, with the black numerals on the front and back. Marcos Perez throws it down, and it looks like we're ready for action here. And we're ready for baseball here as well as softball. We have PBA softball going on to our left over at Simpson Field. It's Chris Dietrich on the call over there. So if you want to keep up with both, you got multiple devices. Hope you'll tune in all weekend long as the Sailfish host the Spartans on the baseball side and the Moccasins of Florida Southern over at Simpson Field. First pitch here from Mitchell Carroll comes in as a strike is called by our home plate umpire, who is Kevin Flay. Actually, I take that back. That is Gabriel Cologne, who's behind the plate. Kevin Flay is on the bases. 0-1 from Carroll. Just missed off the outside corner as Yorvis Terrialba, the designated hitter, steps in and settles in for this first batter of the game. Terrialba having a fine season, 407. This is his 33rd game and 31st start. This one lined into right field. Coming on is Brandon Smith. He'll shield his eyes from the sun and make a nice grab. And we're 1 up, 1 down here at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep. That'll bring up Sam Freitas. He's the right fielder for the Spartans. Freitas, another solid hitter, hitting just one notch below that of Torrealba. He's at 406. Takes a big cut, but comes up empty against Mitchell Carroll. Mitch in his senior season as well. Be one of the many honored in-between games tomorrow. This is not the final series of the year for PBA. They will host Florida Tech on a Thursday, Friday in 2 weeks. But being that this is a weekend opportunity, it allows all the families to make their plans to join us. I believe the Florida Tech series has to do with some academic calendar issues for Florida Tech with their final exams. 1-1. Taking a little high and away as Freitas being patient. Alec Aliwine waits on deck, the big hitting first baseman. Freitas out of Lawrenceville, Georgia, went to Florida Southwestern State College before making his way to the University of Tampa. He pops this one over the PBA dugout, and it's even now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Sailfish have had a good run of it of late. We mentioned their good work down at Barry University after a midweek loss at Nova Southeastern last week. They did not have a midweek game this week in preparation for, as Carroll gets this one hit weakly over to Machado, and he'll flip it to first, easily making the play. So 2 easy outs for Carroll here in the top half of the first. That'll bring up Alec Aliwine, and just the situation the Sailfish wanted, the big first baseman up with nobody aboard. Aliwine out of Panama City, went to Gulf Coast State College. As you might imagine, both teams are filled with transfers, both from the Division I level and the junior college level. That's how teams replenish in a hurry, as Carroll splits the heart of the plate for strike 1. We mentioned the .312 team batting average for the Spartans. First 2 hitters over 400 on the year. 0-1. This one must have been just off the plate. Aliwine under 300, 295, but does have some power. 7 homers and has driven in 30. Also has 9 doubles, second on the team. Carroll from the windup. Here's the 1-1. This one at the knees, called strike 2. So Carroll pumping in strikes here early, hoping to put up a 0 and get his team back in the dugout with a scoreless top of the first. Hope you're enjoying your evening wherever you're watching from here on a beautiful Friday night in West Palm Beach. 1-2 from Carroll as he waits patiently for the sign, and Perez have a little trouble getting together. Aliwine, certainly a big guy, wearing number 29 tonight. 1-2, fouled back, a little out in front, but good back control. Got the foul tip over towards the backstop netting. Nice crowd starting to gather in, as we'll likely see that increase over the first couple of innings. Some folks going back and forth between baseball and softball. 1-2 from Carroll. They'll set up away. Got into chase as this one's hit over towards the softball field. Heads up, folks. Aliwine, as I mentioned, 295 hitter, going with the old school no batting gloves. He's a big boy. That slightly open stance. He's ready for the 1-2. They'll set up in now. Got him looking, but just off the inside corner. Good spot for that, but he did miss inside. Carroll, as we mentioned, really took off last year in the second half of the season, became a member of the weekend rotation for the first time in his PBA career, and has taken that right into 2019, where he's been very, very good on Fridays. This one right at the knees, and he's got Aliwine looking for his first strikeout victim of the evening. A scoreless 1-2-3 go the Spartans in the top half. We'll get you the PBA lineup. We come back after this break.
So why are you at PBA?
Because I wanted to be in a Christian environment.
Because I love the community.
A million opportunities for me to get involved.
I really find myself growing here in my walk with God.
Because Palm Beach Atlantic University is anchored in faith,
anchored in values,
anchored in truth.
We educate,
mentor, pray for our students,
so they can confidently
launch.
Bottom half of the first inning as Kevin Pimentel is throwing his warm-up pitches. Pimentel, a All-American candidate, certainly had a great year last year in his first year tossing for the Spartans. He'll have a defense that looks like this behind him. Stevie Mangrum in left, Danny Blair in center, Sam Freitas in right, Nick Durr at third, Nick DeTringo in shortstop, Mikey Navarrete at second, and Alec Aliwine, who we saw in the top half of the inning, swing the stick. He's at first. Danny Servin is his battery mate. We'll give you Pimentel's numbers here in just a moment. For Palm Beach Atlantic, they'll send out a lineup very familiar. Looks like this. Derek Schwimmer in center, Sean Houck at third, Danny Tuffarello at at first base. He bats in the 3 spot. Brandon Seltzer in the cleanup spot in left. Connor Rowland at DH bats 5th. Brandon Smith in right bats 6th. Riley Harold at shortstop bats 7th. Marcos Perez, the senior catcher, 8th. And Ramon Machado at second base in the 9 spot. That's Danny Tuffarello listed at second, but he's actually over at first again tonight. He played some second early in the season with Machado sidelined due to injury. We hope you're enjoying your evening wherever you're watching PBA baseball and Tampa baseball tonight. You can always check in with us via email. We have many of our loyal listeners, viewers that are probably here in attendance this weekend. Because it is senior weekend, we'll honor the PBA senior class tomorrow. But if you want to check in with us by email as Pimentel gets ready to throw his first pitch, you can do so by email at michael_brown@pba.edu. Again, that's Michael, michael_brown@pba.edu. Love to hear who you're watching, who you're tuning in for. If you're a Tampa fan, Sailfish fan, we welcome one and all. 0-2 quickly to Derek Schwimmer, who's been a solid addition to the Sailfish all season long. It feels like we haven't been with you in quite some time. PBA has been on the road the last 3 weeks. And a lot of home action early. They've gotten healthy at just the right time and right in the thick of things as it comes to the conference standings, as this one's way outside. And Pimentel is still up in the count 1-2. Pimentel, as I mentioned, is 7-1. This is his 11th start of the year. 62 innings even on his record so far. Pitching from the windup in that first base side of the rubber. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball. Schwimmer starts to offer. They'll appeal. It's going to take a while. And they say he did go around. You don't see that every day of the week. where an appeal takes that long, but it does indeed. And Schwimmer is retired on 4 pitches. Here's Sean Hauk. Hauk has moved back up into the 2 spot after the last couple of weeks. And he's been solid in that role. He's a very good bunter, can hit and run. He lines the first pitch he sees into right field, coming on quickly, but not in time to make a play, is Sam Freitas. And we've got a first pitch single for Hauk into right field.
Number 25, first baseman, Danny Taffarello.
Here's Tuffarello, the Sailfish senior first baseman. Continues to swing a good bat and will, hopefully for his sake and for the Sailfish side, be in contention for some postseason accolades. He's batting .358, 6 homers, 27 driven in. He also has 9 doubles. He'll bat with Hauk at first base, taken for strike 1. As Pimentel gives up the first base hit of the day. And now asked to go into the stretch for the first time. Here's the 0-1. Hauk bluffs the steal. Tuffarello hits it pretty well to center, but plenty of air under this one as Blair settles under it. So Tuffarello is out number 2 here in the first. And that'll bring up Brandon Seltzer. Brandon's having a fine year also. Average of .333, 7 homers to lead the team. He got a couple last weekend against Barry, one on Friday night, another on Saturday. Just off the plate there as Pimentel wants to do a little mound work. Seltzer playing left tonight. It's the 3 S's out in the outfield once again. Seltzer, Schwimmer, and Smith. Out increasing his lead ever so slightly at first. He might be on the move. Breaking ball, hit down the third baseline. That'll be extra bases for Seltzer. Hauk rounding second, heading for third. Seltzer will cruise in. They're going to wave Hauk to the plate. Here's the relay throw. It will not be in time as Seltzer comes in with a stand-up 2 base hit for the Sailfish as they lead it 1-0. He'll get the double and go in for the first run of the day. Hauk chugging along, of course, was off on contact. It was hit in the perfect spot, and he makes it all the way in without really much of a relay. The catcher came out quickly to get it, that being Danny Servin. Tried to get Seltzer, who alertly moved over to third base. 1-0 Fish. Didn't mean to, as Rowland hits it foul. Oh, 1 count now to Connor. Pimentel down 1-0. The Sailfish would love to double that up if they could drive in Seltzer, who delivers his 31st RBI of the year. We're a little bit blocked. I didn't see if the left fielder Mangrum had any trouble digging it out down there, but I wasn't expecting to see them send Hauk to the plate. But aggressive, and the Sailfish lead it now 1-0. Outside corner, strike 2, as it's now 1-2. To the senior Rowland, who will be honored amongst the group tomorrow. Two hits in the inning, one by Hauk, one by Seltzer. 1-2 now to Rowland. Breaking ball, hit weakly to the left side. Coming up for his Durr. He'll fire across and get the hustling Rowland by just a step. Sailfish strike first. They get 1 on the RBI double from Brandon Seltzer. 1-0 Fish after 1.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Top half of the second inning, Sailfish lead this one 1-0 on the Brandon Seltzer RBI double down that left field line, scoring Sean Houck. And now we're ready to go for inning number 2. It's Danny Servin, Nick Durr, and Stevie Mangrum. Two balls, no strikes now to the catcher, Servin. Here's number 44. This one on the outside corner, and it's now 2-1. Servin, 359. This is 34th start, so much like the Sailfish catcher, Marcos Perez, he gets a lot of action. One just off the plate, and for the first time, Carroll's reached a 3-1 count. Carroll ready. Here comes the 3-1. That one is going to be catcher's interference, and let's hope Marcos Perez is okay. That knocked his glove clean off. You have not seen that, to my recollection, this year with Marcos. But an auspicious start here for the Fish here in the top half of the second inning. Looks like Marcos is going to tough it out. One more look at it here as you see him have that left wrist pulled back right away. It was called immediately by the home plate umpire. That technically goes down as an error on Perez, who's been about as good as you could ask for defensively this year, especially considering how much work he's had. So the tying run is aboard here in the top of the second. Carroll ready, and he delivers. Popped up right side, but it'll get out of play. This is Nick Durr, followed by Stevie Mangrum. Carroll has a pretty quick move to first, and Servin, you would imagine, probably not much of a threat to steal, as this one misses off the plate. 1-1 now from Carroll. He'll check on Servin, who dives back rather easily. Beautiful night for baseball here. Just over 80 degrees. Pretty breezy evening, as it almost always is here at the Rinker Athletic Campus. Wind blowing across right to left. Breaking ball, and the first maybe one of those we've seen tonight. Overhand curve from Carroll drops in nicely for strike 2. He mostly pumped in fastballs in the first. Had good command of it. EBA softball off to a great start tonight. They already lead at 3-0 over at Simpson Field. It's not even out of the bottom of the first. Good to see the ladies playing well. 1-2, here comes fastball, and fouling it back is Nick Durr. 2 Nicks on the left side for the Spartans. Durr at third and DeTringo at shortstop. Good to hear from the Santa Ramita family, who usually checks in with us via New Jersey, but of course they're here this weekend from beautiful West Palm Beach. Great to hear from them via email. As Carroll once again throws over. Durr back in the box. He's a native of Lakewood Ranch, Florida, and a transfer out of Florida State University. This one up and into him. 2-2. Carroll from the stretch. Here comes 2-2. He got him to offer, but he did not go, so it'll go to a full count. Carroll would love to make good on this 3-2 pitch. We'll see if the Spartans are living dangerously, putting Servin in motion. Depends on how they feel Durr will swing the bat. The contact guy or not? Here's the 3-2, no going, and he checks swings. They'll appeal. They say he did go around. And Durr was halfway to first base. Well, that makes it 1 for each team tonight. Schwimmer was retired on a similar check swing to start the bottom half of the first. Second strikeout now, both of them looking for Carroll. And that's a big spot. Could have been 2 aboard with nobody out. Instead, Servin stays at first, and Durr is retired on strikes. Here's Stevie Mangrum. One more look at that one. Just off the plate, it looked like the bat head did clear the hitting zone. But one of the things with a 2-man crew, it's a little challenging, especially with the umpire out at the second base area to get a good look. But it went the Sailfish way this time. 1-0 now to Mangrum, the left fielder. The offering stays high, 2-0. Mangrum, another outstanding hitter, 296, has 5 homers, and has driven in only 13, but this just his 21st game and 18th start. Spartans do not run a lot. Neither team really does in this series, as this one paints the outside corner perfectly. The top stolen base threat for Tampa is their leadoff man, as you might suspect, Torrey Alba, 11 out of 14. Danny Blair, the center fielder, 10 out of 12. Nick DeTringo, 8 of 10. So not a team that's going to run themselves out of too many innings, as Servin has a very short lead. This one stays high, as Carroll struggling a little bit with that release point here in the second, has missed up quite a bit. On deck is Danny Blair, the center fielder. They play Mangrum deep, but he comes up empty on this swing. We'll have our Sailfish trivia on the top half of the 4th inning. Hope you'll participate via email with that one. As Carroll hopes to make good on another 3-2 offering. Here it comes. This one popped up in the infield. Machado shielding his eyes from the sun. He will make the grab. And a big second out here as the pop-up innocently finds the glove of Ramon Machado. That'll bring up the left-handed swinging, right-handed fielding Danny Blair. Blair, 280 on the year. Not a lot of power, only one homer and one double. But has driven in 22. So don't take him for granted. Steps in there, showing bunt, but pulling it back as he takes ball one. This inning started off with a catcher's interference. Since then, it's been a strikeout looking on a check swing and a pop up to second. Sailfish will hope to hold on to that 1-0 lead if Carroll can retire Blair. Down and in, and he's fallen behind pretty consistently in this inning. Having a little bit of technical difficulty, so hang with us on the broadcast so far. 2 balls, no strikes as Carroll's ready. This one grounded right at the first base bag. Tuffarello easily touches first, and that will end the top half of the second. Started with an error, but ended with 3 straight Spartans outs. We'll take a break. 1-0, Palm Beach Atlantic.
The next time you travel to town to watch the Fish 2 battle, consider staying at the official hotel partner of Palm Beach Atlantic Athletics, the Holiday Inn Airport and Conference Center. The Holiday Inn is conveniently located less than a mile from the Rinker Athletic Campus and is easily accessible to Palm Beach International Airport and our downtown campus. With deluxe accommodations for teams and fans alike, be sure and choose Holiday Inn for your next overnight stay, and don't forget to ask for the special PBA Sailfish rate. Jimmy John's of West Palm Beach is a proud sponsor of Palm Beach Atlantic Athletics, as well as the freaky fast sandwich choice of Sailfish everywhere. Whether ordering for one or a whole team, Jimmy John's can deliver right to your doorstep here in downtown West Palm Beach and provide you with some of the best sandwiches around. The Clematis location is just a few blocks away from campus, or order online at jimmyjohns.com.
Bottom of the second inning, Sailfish struck first with a run in the bottom half of the first. They'll hope to do the same here. They'll send Brandon Smith to the plate. Check swing on the first offering from Pimentel, but it's taken up high, ball one. It's been a back and forth throughout the year, which is a good thing on the Sailfish home run lead. It's now Seltzer with 7. Smith steps in, a big cut there, and fouls it straight back. Sailfish have seen their power numbers rise this year. They have 32 long balls in a very pitcher-friendly ballpark here at JM Jake Rubin Park. They've only given up 22 homers as a team and hit 32. The team lead, as I mentioned, is Seltzer with 7, but close behind is Tuffarello and Rowland, both with 6. And Brandon Smith just behind them with 4. He watches this one up and in. Riley Harold, the other player in the starting lineup with multiple homers. He has 3. Mike Santaramita has 2 on the year. Several other Sailfish have gotten on the board with homers, but just 1. Here's the 2-1 now to Smith, who gets that big leg kick going as he takes the changeup inside from Pimentel. Very much a hitter's count here for the slugger out of Indiana. Here's the 3-1. Good pitcher's pitch there from Pimentel. Kevin, as I mentioned, a University of Miami transfer, originally out of Huntington Station, New York. Payoff pitch to Smith. Taken up high, ball 4. So good start for Smith and the Sailfish here in the top of the second. Something we've seen the Sailfish be willing to do with more regularity of late as well, is take their free passes. As a team, they've walked now 134 times, and they've allowed 113. Here's Harold. Harold, a threat to lay down a bunt, and that's got Nick Durr in on the grass. Not squaring, though, here as the fastball just misses outside. They play the outfield the other way. Danny Blair in center swung around towards left center field. Wind is blowing that way as well, so scouting report on Harold and the wind probably playing dual factors here as the infield plays him straight away. This one sprayed down the left field line, but foul on top of the softball batting cages. Mentioned PBA softball in action this weekend. It is not senior weekend for them. It is, however, alumni weekend for both. So if you're checking us out online tonight and PBA baseball or softball alumni, hope you'll come out tomorrow and take part in some activities with us. Harold, as I mentioned, 3 homers on the year, switch hitting shortstop. Swings through that one and fouls it into the glove. In fact, it's now 1-2 as Harold had a look back. I think he chased ball 2, but hoping to put it in play as Durr is now taking a few steps behind the third base bag with moving to 2 strikes. Smith a short lead at first. Pimentel getting his sign from his battery mate Servin. Here's the pitch. Slider in the dirt. Nice block there by the Tampa catcher. Strikeout to start the bottom of the first for Pimentel. That was Derek Schwimmer. Since then, it's been hit, fly out, double, ground out, and walk over these first inning plus. 2-2. Lined the other way. Nice piece of hitting there by Harold. It'll 2-hop Stevie Mangrum out and left, and the Sailfish are in business. Harold didn't try and do too much there, just stuck the bat out, went with the pitch, and lined it into left field. Mangrum playing very deep. Already 3 hits for the Sailfish off Pimentel. That'll bring up Perez. We'll see what he's asked to do here. Marcos been swinging the bat better of late. Hit his first homer of the year last weekend at Barry on Saturday. In fact, he went back-to-back with the man who's on deck, the 9th place hitter Ramon Machado, who also went deep for the first time. Tampa expecting a bunt, and Perez not showing one. He takes the pitch on the outside, and it's just off the plate, ball 1. Perez getting the signs from third base coach Bo McMillan in his 4th season with the Fish. Justin Sizemore over at first, PBA alum himself, in his 7th season. Here's the 1-0. Grounded weakly left side, and I think it's off the body of Perez, but maybe not. Foul ball wasn't called until Durr, the third baseman, picked it up. So Perez fortunate that one wasn't a fair ball, as he was still standing in the batter's box. Couple different options here for the Sailfish with Smith at second, Harold at first. Perez handles the bat pretty well, but no sign of a bunt just yet. We'll see what he comes out with game plan-wise on the 1-1. Tampa still in on the grass. He does square and lays it down right out in front of home plate. Only play will be to first from Servin, who tosses it down to the covering Mikey Navarrete, and the Sailfish catcher will get some high fives going back to the dugout as he lays down the perfect sacrifice bunt. Machado, as I mentioned, has been swinging the bat better of late also. Got that home run. Came back mid-season from an early preseason injury. He's got his average up to 231 and continues to play outstanding defense at second base. He's made a number of highlight reel plays over the last few weeks as this slider misses off the plate. He's a real difference maker in the middle of the diamond with the glove and his arm. Spartans infield will play back up the middle and in on the corners. Just one out here as Smith leads from third. Check swing taken on the inner half for strike one. It's even now. Spartans still up near the top of the SSC standings, but they do trail Embry-Riddle, the surprise team of the year so far, along with Barry University for their good work. Inside as Machado lifts the arms. It's 2-1. Coming into play tonight, Embry-Riddle 11-4 in conference play. Tampa 11-7, sitting in second place. PBA down the list a little bit at 8-10. They're tied in the win column with Rollins and Florida Tech, who are both 8-7. And trail Barry by one win. They're 11-10. 2-1. Wind into right center field. That'll get down. One run will score. They'll send Harold to the plate. No, they'll hold him up. RBI single for Machado as Aliewine comes up the first baseline to cut it off, and the Sailfish add to their lead. It's now 2-0 on the Ramon Machado RBI single. Harold had to freeze for just a moment just to make sure that one cleared the outstretched arm of Mikey Navarrete, second baseman. But Machado taking a page out of Harold's book. You see it here again. Went the other way, got it on the line, and drove in the second run of the day for PBA. Strong throw from Freitas in from right, but it was well off target. If not for a good play by Aliewine to go retrieve it, Sailfish might have had a free one. Runners at the corners now for Schwimmer. This one down low, and Pimentel missing his spot by a couple feet there. He was aiming for the outside corner from his catcher, Danny Servin, but missed on the inner half, and it was low. They play Schwimmer. A few steps in and going the other way. That is the MO for Derek. He taps it that way, and it's through the left side. Beautiful piece of hitting there by Schwimmer, and it's 3-0 Sailfish. 5 hits already for PBA, up and down the lineup through the first time through. They're finding the holes. Not a lot of warning track shots or certainly any over the fence yet, but they have put it in the perfect spot and made good contact. That'll draw the attention of Servin, the catcher, as well as one of the members of the Tampa coaching staff out for a visit. 5 hits, 3 runs for PBA. They are still looking to do more damage here in the second. They've plated 2. And hungry for more. A full infield meeting here on the mound as Machado stays out at second. Smith and Harold have both scored. And there's still just one out in the inning. Four nothing Sailfish over on the softball side, so both teams doing very well. Here's Sean Houck. Last 3 Sailfish hits have all gone the other way. Started with Harold, good 2-strike approach. Machado then followed after the sacrifice bunt, and then Schwimmer went the other way. Here's the spin back from Pimentel, but he is just bluffing. Pimentel, after the meeting on the mound, will go back to work from the stretch. His first offering now comes to Houck, who shows bunt but pulls it back. Good idea there. Houck, I haven't checked coming into this weekend's action, but was leading the Division II ranks in sacrifice bunts. Spartan infielders on the corners are in on the grass. This one going to plunk Houck, and he'll head to first with a bruise, but the Sailfish will load him up. He has that elbow guard on, but I think that one may have actually missed the elbow. May have gotten him a little bit higher, maybe up on the bicep. He'll be checked on by first base coach Justin Sizemore. That'll load him up for Danny Tuffarello. As one of our athletic trainers, as we see this one riding in, that actually looked like it hit off the hand maybe of Sean. I thought it hit up on the bicep, but I think that one got hand on the bat, which that's a scary feeling. It looks like he'll be okay, though. He'll stay in the game.
For 25, first baseman, Danny Tuffarello.
There is some activity starting to move in the Tampa bullpen. I'm not sure if anyone's actually throwing or just starting to stretch it out. It's still very early, but Pimentel has not been his usual sharp self. Tuffarello launches this one down the right field line, but it'll twist foul. Schwimmer out at second now with Hauk at first, and Machado manning third base. Tuffarello flew out to center field his first time. Sailfish would be okay with that result again, as it would likely plate another run if he hits it as far as he did the first time. Spartans in their double play depth up the middle with Navarrete and DeTringo. This one just off the plate as Servin set up out off the outside corner. Tuffarello, as he's done for much of his PBA career, has been a run producer. He's in a big spot here, bases loaded, one out in the second. Sailfish already lead by 3. Breaking ball tapped out towards the mound. Pimentel will go to the plate for one, over to first, and a very big 1-2-3 ground ball double play. Pitcher's best friend in that situation. Could have been a much bigger inning, but the Sailfish will settle for 2. They lead it 3-0 after 2 innings of play.
Start your day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
Sometimes it's hard to tell from the outside what a personal injury law firm actually does. We're busy meeting our clients, learning about their injuries, and hearing about how the accident has affected their life. We do all the work to make sure the insurance company takes your case seriously. We strategize and we prepare for trial. We spend our days and even our nights pursuing justice and protecting the rights of our clients. That's what we do.
Top half of the third inning, Sailfish holding on to the 3-0 lead. They've got 5 hits on the board. The Spartans still looking for their first base knock of the evening. Mitchell Carroll's looked good through 2. A little bit of wildness in the second inning, but didn't result in a walk. Only a catcher's interference has been the only base runner so far for UT. First offering of the third inning is into Nick DeTringo, but it's taken low. It'll be DeTringo, Mikey Navarrete, and then back to the top of the order with Torey Alba getting his second look at Carroll. Sun's starting to set behind us, but it should be out for a couple more innings as this one hits the vicinity of the inside corner. And it's even now to DeTringo, the shortstop. DeTringo, a .282 hitter, watches this one as it will fall in for the first base hit. Big hop as Seltzer comes around it. That one kind of a hanging breaking ball that Carroll would probably like to have back. DeTringo, a good piece of hitting, got underneath it and flipped it out to left for the first base hit of the game. We'll see what the Spartans counter with down 3 and their 9th place hitter up. Mikey Navarrete, .302 hitter. It's just his 17th game and 11th start. in the dirt, and Carroll struggling to throw strike one after a pretty efficient first inning. He's been behind most of the Spartans since. Sailfish in double play depth up the middle. No sign of a bunt from Navarrete, who will watch this one hit the outside corner for strike one. Navarrete out of Miami, went to Santa Fe Junior College. Baseball powerhouse here in the great state of Florida. Carroll will throw over, but DeTringo able to easily dive back. DeTringo, we mentioned, is one of their threats to steal. 8 of 10 in the stolen base department. Carroll from the stretch, here comes. 1-1, but first the throw over as DeTringo looked like he might have been leaning there. Houck a couple steps in on the grass or near the grass at third base, in case Navarrete thinks about dropping the sack bunt down. Carroll ready for the 1-1. This one sliced down the line, but out of play, and it's even, now 1-2. More Sailfish and Spartans fans starting to settle into the ballpark tonight. Beautiful night for baseball, and expecting much of the same tomorrow afternoon when these two teams will square off at high noon here in West Palm Beach. Both 9-inning games, and we'll have both of them right here on the Sailfish Sports Network. 1-2, popped up in the infield. Who's going to take it? Right near the pitcher's mound. 3 infielders charging. It'll be Harold right coming up on top of the mound. That's a very tough play for an infielder to feel your footing change as you go up the hill and down the hill. But Harold, a veteran, took charge and made a nice play. Normally a very easy play, but dealing with the different terrain, a little bit different. So we'll roll back to the top with Yorvis Torrealba. Yorvis out of Parkland, Florida, went to the College of Central Florida, play his junior college baseball. Likes to wrap that bat up around the helmet. Got a little bit of Gary Sheffield in him with the bat waggle. Waving it out in front of him, sizing up Carroll. He lined out to Brandon Smith his first time. Taken too high is that offering from Mitchell. Sailfish defense will see him go the other way as he did this first time against Carroll. Schwimmer swung around towards right center, and Smith guarding the line in right. Seltzer pretty much straight away, but very deep. 1-0. This one fouled back, and now it's even. Torrealba having a great year. 407 with 5 dingers. 11 out of 14 in stolen bases. He's walked 15 times and struck out just 16 to go with 7 hit batters. So a guy who's on base at a high rate. Something you know the Spartans like in that leadoff spot. 1-1 slash foul, and it's 1-2 as Carroll getting back to pumping in strikes. Sailfish Alumni Weekend, we mentioned, they'll have a slow pitch softball game on Sunday morning at 11 here on site at the Rinker Athletic Campus. So if you have an RSVP'd and you're a Sailfish alumni and want to take part, feel free to email us. Let us know you're on your way. We'd love to have you. 1-2 from Carroll. High fastball popped up. Will it stay in play? Perez giving chase, but it looks like it'll reach just beyond the bleacher area. Heads up, Provost Randy Richards down there. Dr. Richards taking in some Sailfish baseball as well as some other Sailfish faithful. Spartans have traveled pretty well as well. See plenty of red shirts down there. Torrealba continues to wave that bat, ready to go for another 1-2. Here it is. Launched down the left field line. That will be trouble. It's going to one-hop the wall. Seltzer down there quickly to dig it out. He will get it in, and there won't be a play at the plate as Seltzer, as he so often does, hustling all the way and got it in quickly. But give Torrealba the first extra base hit of the game for either team. I take that back to second as Seltzer had the double. So second and third and one out as he got a pitch on the inner half, you'll see here, and he did not miss it. Crushed it into the left field corner. It one hops the 330 mark. Seltzer did a fantastic job to barehand and get that one out quickly as DeTringo was motoring around. This one taken high. Sam Freitas grounded out to Ramon Machado, his only other at bat in the top of the first. 1 ball, no strikes. Here comes. Off speed, taken high and away. And I wouldn't be too surprised to see a visit from Coach Kent Bottenfield here shortly. Mitch is towing the line of trouble so far. Has only allowed the 2 hits, but it's been consistently falling behind. 2-0 to Freitas, who puts a good swing on it, but fouls it back over the right field side. Of course, Coach Kent Bottenfield, a longtime professional baseball player, 16 years in the professional ranks, 9 at the major league level as a pitcher. So he is the pitching coach as well as the head coach for Palm Beach Atlantic Baseball in his 8th season. The last 4 of them, I actually take that back, this is his 7th season. The last 4 of them have been right here at the Jake. Rubin Park, as it's better known as. 2 balls, 1 strike. Carroll trying to fight back. Fastball hit into right field. That should be deep enough to score the run as Smith looks up into the sunshine. He'll make the catch. Both runners will, no, they will not advance. As the runner out at second, Tori Alba, saw the good throw coming in from Smith and decided to hit the brakes. So give Freitas the RBI. Did his job to get the first run of the day and first run of the series in for the Spartans.
First baseman, Alec Aliwan.
It is a second out and a 3-1 score now as Alec Aliwan gets his second look at Mitch Carroll. Aliwan out of Panama City. Also listed as a left-handed pitcher as he takes strike 1 on the outside corner. To date, Aliwan has not thrown any innings on the mound for the Spartans. Maybe they're saving him for the stretch run. A big man in the box looks at the 0-1. Grounded right side, going to be a tough play. Big hop into right field. Smith will come on charging, but there will not be a play at the plate. Tough break for the Fish there as Tuffarello looked like, and we'll see if we get a second look at it, was going to be able to make a potential play, but then it hit a ramp and bounced over, clear over his head. Machado also there to give chase, but no real chance at that play. Hit a ramp or a rock or something to springboard into right field. Smith was playing deep with the power of Aliwan and didn't have much of a chance to throw out Tori Alba, who was sprinting towards the plate. And it's now 3-2. The Spartans have clawed their way back. Fastball outside corner to Danny Servin. Servin reached on the catcher's interference, his only other at bat. This fastball there again, and it's quickly 0-2. Carroll looking for his sign from his senior battery mate, Marcos Perez. 0-2. Fastball up and in. Sent a message with that one. Let's see if he goes soft and away or comes back with that fastball. Good to hear from the Clem family watching from Lando Lakes, Florida. They've checked in with us by email. They say they're going to be in Lakeland when the Sailfish take on Florida Southern. Fastball swung on and just foul tipped as Servin stays alive. Clems from Lando Lakes. Hope it's as beautiful in Lando Lakes as it is here in West Palm Beach. This is a picture-perfect night for baseball, softball, or anything really outside. Aliwine, not much of a threat to run at first base. He's being held on by Tuffarello after the RBI single. Serving ready. Big swing there and had a good cut at it, but just fouled it back. Serving back in the box ready. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball hammered into left. He was sitting on that one as Seltzer comes up firing. And second time through has not been as friendly for Mitchell Carroll. They've already got 2 back. They trail by 1, and another big bat coming in, Nick Durr. The recipe for success for the Sailfish over the last month or so has been solid starting pitching and then turning it over to a real good bullpen, which has been there pretty much all year. Here's the pitch to Durr, who will ground it left side, could find a hole. It does get into left field. They'll send Aliwine to the plate. Here comes Seltzer with a throw. It'll be cut off, and we're tied. 3 runs in the inning, coming on 5 hits, as the Spartans have erased that 3-0 deficit in a hurry. Much like the Sailfish, they're not putting big shots up out there. They're finding holes. Aliwine, for a big man, was hustling around, and Seltzer, playing deep, had to go a long way to charge in as Durr just slapped it through that left side. One more look here. Topped it, but Harold not able to make the diving effort. Coach Urso sending him all the way. Seltzer has a good arm, but just wasn't able to outrun the base runner. As Coach Bottenfield does indeed come out for a session with his pitcher. This all started with a leadoff single by Nick DeTringo. Then Mikey Navette popped up in the middle of the infield. A double by Torrealba and then a sac fly got us to a 3-1 count. Sailfish were hopeful to put the fire out there, but 3 straight singles from Aliwine, Servin, and Durr have us at a 3-3 ball game. First and second now as Servin stands out as the potential go-ahead run. Fastball and a big swing and a miss by Stevie Mangrum. No activity in either bullpen, but being just the top of the third in a series opener with both teams sending their aces out there. You know the coaching staffs want to give them a chance to lock in. This one popped down the right field line. Could be a play on it. Long run for Machado. He will make the grab. Great athletic play there by the Sailfish second baseman. And that puts out the fire, but not before. The Spartans get 5 hits and 3 runs. They've tied it up. We go to the bottom half of the third. 3-3 our score.
The Sailfish Booster Club is responsible for raising funds to support our athletic teams with travel, uniforms, and equipment. Even small gifts can go a long way in supporting our teams. It is only through the generous gifts of all of our supporters that all the costs of our athletic programs can be funded. If you are currently a member, thank you. If you are not, please visit pbasailfish.com/give today and become a member of the Sailfish Booster Club. Looking for a night out with friends or family after the game? Consider any one of the 15 Duffy Sports Grill locations here in Palm Beach County. Visit the Clematis location just 1 mile from PBA for great food, excellent service, and a sports watching experience like nowhere else. Head over to duffysmvp.com for the full menu, including great lunch specials, and to check out their 10 delicious wing flavors.
Second look here at that great play by Ramon Machado. Look, he's up the middle, trying to keep the runner close. He's tracking on it the whole way. Tuffarello must not have seen it off the bat, and Smith had too far to go. Great play there by Machado, who is worth his weight in gold on defense alone. Seltzer is the first man to greet Kevin Pimentel here in the bottom half of the third inning. As Seltzer drove in the game's first run with an RBI double, moved to third on the throw. Good fastball painted there by Pimentel, and it's 0-2 to the Sailfish cleanup man and left fielder. Couple of New York natives doing battle here. Pimentel out of Huntington Station, and Seltzer out of Staten Island. As this hard fastball is too high. Seltzer, a transfer also from the Division I ranks, Fairleigh Dickinson University. Pimentel out of the University of Miami. Spent 2 years with the Canes, now 2 years with the Spartans. 1-2, breaking ball. Flip down the right field line, could be trouble if it's fair. It is fair, yes it is. Seltzer about halfway over to second. They'll come in behind him. Aliwine with the tag, and a nice relay throw there by Mikey Navarrete got Seltzer. It all started with a nice recovery by Sam Freitas in right field. And Seltzer thought about trying to get extra bases, went about almost halfway and couldn't scramble back in time. So give him credit for the sixth hit, but he's out 9-4 to 3. Getting word of more and more PBA alums coming into the ballpark tonight, as this one's up off the handle of the bat for Connor. Tough break there. As you mentioned, it is alumni weekend, and of course, the University of Tampa always draws a bit of a crowd as well. No balls, one strike to the Sailfish designated hitter. This one almost hits him again. This one he jumps out of the way. Connor up to the team lead in homers, or I should say one behind the team lead. He's got 6. Does lead the team with 10 doubles. Has walked 13 times. Been good on the bases. He's had a very fine senior year. 336 entering play today as this changeup hits the inside corner. It's now 1-2. Some shadows starting to come over the ballpark now as the sun sets behind us in the west. Lights are coming on. Pimentel looking for the strikeout. Here's the 1-2. Chop foul. We're in the bottom of the third. In the top of the fourth, we'll have our first trivia question of the weekend. We'll have one more for you on Saturday's game number 2. Hope you'll participate. 1-2, here it comes. Breaking ball and a good one as Roland is cut down on strikes. That one a plus slider. Brandon Smith will try to get things started with 2 outs. He led things off in the second inning with a walk and then came around to score on the Ramon Machado RBI single. He takes a big cut and fouls it back near us. It'll hit off the roof. As we mentioned, Brandon, in his first season with the Sailfish out of the University of Dayton. Waving that bat around, trying to time up Pimentel, who comes from the windup. Inside corner, good pitch there. He's looked much better here in this third inning, commanding both sides of the plate. And we saw that wicked slider he threw to Connor Rowland. Let's see if he breaks off something similar here to Smith. Giving him the sign is Servin, as Pimentel will serve it up. He did try and get the same result, but it was taken this time. They play Smith to go the other way in the outfield. Danny Blair shielding his eyes from the sun. And in right center field, very deep, all the way around. 1-2. Smith just a bit tardy. We mentioned trivia time in the top of the fourth, and then we'll have some Sunshine State Conference action we'll check in on later. I know there's a couple of games already in the books, which probably means there's a game down at Lynn University today. No lights. 1-2, here it is. This one bounced in, and Servin not able to block it or get Smith to offer at it. Brandon's worked it back to a 2-2 count. Here's Pimentel's 2-2 offering. Tapper up the middle could be a tough play, but DeTringo ranges to his left, fields, and makes a strong throw to end a perfect 1-2-3, bottom of the third. We're all tied at 3 after 3. Trivia time coming up after this break.
Are you in need of the latest Sailfish gear? Visit pbasailfishgear.com for all the best in Sailfish products. The official online store of PBA Athletics has everything from t-shirts, sweatshirts, and polos to drinkware, business accessories, and even pet supplies. Visit pbasailfishgear.com, your one-stop shop for Sailfish swag. The Arrigo Automotive Group are longtime supporters of Palm Beach Atlantic University. Known for their wide selection of vehicle offerings at multiple locations in South Florida, Arrigo offers a comprehensive new and used car buying experience including parts, service, and repairs, not to mention straightforward financing. Search their inventory and schedule a test drive from your smartphone or by visiting them online at arrigo.net today.
Sailfish trivia time here in the top half of the fourth inning on the Sailfish Sports Network. I'm Michael Brown. Thankful you're joining us tonight from beautiful West Palm Beach. Let's take a look at our trivia question. What MLB team has been part of the largest and least attended games in Major League Baseball history? This team has been a part of both the least attended and the most attended game in Major League history. Your options are Chicago White Sox, Miami Marlins, Baltimore Orioles, and San Diego Padres. You can email your answer in, or your guess, at Michael, M-I-C-H-A-E-L, _Brown at pba.edu. We'll answer that in the top half of the fifth inning. Those that answer correctly will be added into our end-of-year Sailfish prize pack drawing, which is coming up here in just a couple of weeks. I realize many of our regular viewers are probably here in attendance tonight, as it's senior weekend and alumni weekend for PBA baseball. But those of you that are watching, and we don't turn away Spartan fans either, you want to try your hand at some Major League Baseball trivia, we welcome those interactions as well. If you just want to check in with us by email, we'd love to hear from you and know how you're viewing things tonight, on what device, where you're watching from, and who you're cheering on. You can do that by email as well, Michael _Brown at pba.edu. We start the top of the fourth here with a swing from Danny Blair. Danny grounded out to first baseman Danny Tuffarello. So Danny to Danny. You have 3 Dannys in the ball game. Tuffarello on the Sailfish side, Blair and Servin and Blair, as this check swing is apparently held up and off the plate. Even now 1-1. Sailfish hold the lead in hits 6-5, and they did lead 3-0 in runs, but a big third inning allowed the Spartans to tie it. This one at the belt, called a strike. As the shadows, as you see there, coming across the infield now. See how that plays into effect here with the pitching and the hitting. Here's the 1-2 from Carroll. Missed down and away. Good to hear from one of our security officers watching the game tonight. Mark always does a great job for us out here at the Rinker Athletic Campus. He's participating in some trivia tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. down and in, and it'll go full to Danny Blair. Don't want to put him aboard. Good speed for the Spartans center fielder. Here's the payoff. Popped into shallow right center. Schwimmer now will drift over. Had a little carry to it. He'll make the easy grab. So Blair making an out to his center field counterpart. When I was researching trivia questions for this weekend a couple of days ago, I wanted to find out, and I wasn't able to, if there had ever been a matchup on the big league stage of one Kent Bottenfield versus one Tino Martinez, arguably the most famous UT baseball alum. My research fell through on exactly what their matchups were as the first pitch into DeTringo's call to strike. Of course, Coach Bottenfield, mostly known for his time in the National League, as this one's up and in and grazes the uniform of DeTringo. So he's aboard both times. And Martinez, as he was well known as a Seattle Mariner and later a New York Yankee before finishing out his career with the St. Louis Cardinals, was more known for that American League time. I would call them contemporaries, but opposite leagues and not as much interleague play back then. As first pitch throwing down is Perez. He applies the tag, and Machado erases the stolen base attempt by DeTringo, who got an enormous jump. Perez showing off that cannon for an arm once again. I didn't think he had any chance to get him, as DeTringo cut down on stolen bases. He was 8 of 10 before that swipe attempt. 1-0 pitch, bunted at, right out in front. It's going to hit the batter. Navarrete is going to be retired on the batter's interference. Tough luck play for him. Perez puts out the threat on the bases prior to. We go to the bottom of the fourth. 3-3 here at the Jake.
So why are you at PBA?
Because I wanted to be in a Christian environment.
Because I love the community. A million opportunities for me to get involved.
I really find myself growing here in my walk with God.
Because Palm Beach Atlantic University is anchored in faith,
anchored in values,
anchored in truth.
We educate, mentor, pray for our students,
so they can confidently
launch.
Bottom half of the fourth inning, 3-3 our score. Been a good ball game so far between these two Sunshine State Conference rivals. One more look at that great throw down to second. You see DeTringo in your screen, got an enormous jump, but they throw down in perfect timing from Marcos Perez. DeTringo thought maybe he got his hand in there before the tag could be applied on the back, but Machado finishing off a great play before the batter's interference on Mikey Navarrete ended the inning in untraditional 1-2-3 fashion. 3-3 our score, bottom of the fourth. Riley Harold swings the first pitch, skies it into shallow left, drifting over is Stevie Mangrum. He'll wait a while for it to come down and makes the easy grab. Good swing by Riley, just a little bit under it. Here's Marcos Perez, who laid down a sacrifice bunt his first time. Perez laying down the sac bunt, his only other plate appearance, takes strike one from Pimentel. No balls, one strike to the Sailfish catcher. But time is called. Nice sized crowd gathering for this, what should be a good 3-game series. Off the plate, 1-1 to PBA's senior catcher out of Miami. So a couple of Miami natives, or excuse me, Miami residents at times, as Pimentel played his first stop on the college tour at University of Miami. 1-1 as Perez thinks about a bunt, takes a breaking ball, and it's even, or excuse me now, 1-2. Now get it right eventually. Perez will be followed by Machado, the other man on the end of that. Throw him out at second base. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed, and that's been the pitch these last couple of innings that Pimentel has gone to, that breaking ball, and it's been effective. One more look here, that downward action. Not really a curveball, not really a slider, kind of a slurve at times. That one had more curveball tendencies, I think. As far away as we are, it's a little tough to know exactly what Kevin's throwing up there. Here's Machado, lined a single his only other time up. He takes another shot that way, but is a little late. Still chances to get in on our Sailfish trivia by email. We'll answer it in the top half of the 5th inning. What MLB team is a part of the least attended game and the most attended game in MLB history? Is it the Chicago White Sox, Miami Marlins, Baltimore Orioles, or San Diego Padres? 0-1. Breaking ball and a beauty. Pimentel, after struggling early with his command, seems to have found his release point on both his hard stuff and his off speed, which is not a good thing for the Sailfish. We're hoping to get that knockout blow early. They led 3-0, but hard to keep the Tampa offense down too long. Breaking ball, and looked like Machado was ready for it, but just a little late. Ramon out of Miami as well, to Palm Beach State College before transferring in this season as a first-year Sailfish. Looking forward to having him back for his senior campaign next year. 0-2 again. Tapper left side will be a tough play. DeTringo deep in the hole and not going to be able to make it, as Machado will be a perfect 2 for 2. Durr tried to cut it off right near the grass cutout. Wasn't able to get a glove on it. DeTringo knew he had to catch and throw really all in one motion to get the speedy Machado, and wasn't able to field it cleanly. Here's Schwimmer, already getting his third look at Pimentel, and we're in the bottom of the 4th, so that's a good sign. He's 1 for 2, an RBI single in the 2nd. We'll try for a 2-out hit here as he takes the ball in, showed bunt, but did pull it back. Schwimmer looking down to Coach McMillan at third for a sign. He's, of course, a threat to bunt. Machado a threat to run. Who's getting a pretty good lead now. Pimentel, big leg kick, throws, and almost hits Schwimmer for a second time. Really trying to back him off the plate. He went the other way his last time up and slapped a single through the left side, which scored Machado. So I take that back, scored Riley Harold. Here's the 2-0. Big swing, and he fouls it off. Machado kind of bluffed like he might go there. You've not seen the Sailfish attempt a stolen base yet tonight. Good wheels at the plate, good wheels on the bases. Here's the offering. Hit to right center field and pretty well driven out that way. Running out there is Freitas. He's not going to be able to haul it in. Neither is Blair. Blair will pick it up, throw it in. Here's the relay throw. Coming in, sprinting is Machado just ahead of the tag. He's in there. Great play by the Spartans defense, but Machado outrun it. RBI double for Schwimmer. He got some air under it, put it in the perfect spot, kind of crossed up the defense, and Machado on the move on the crack of the bat was able to outrun the throw. Great relay play there. I'm not sure if that was Mikey Navarrete or DeTringo out there, if it was a double cut. Made the play a lot closer than I was expecting it to be. He put a great throw in. Danny Servin applied the tag, but we had a great look at it from up here. Machado was able to slide in ahead, and the Sailfish retake the lead 4-3. Breaking ball in there from Pimentel, who had been cruising right along until Machado got the infield single, and then Schwimmer doubled to right center. So Schwimmer already 2 RBIs in the series. If Houck could get a base hit here, he's likely to score with that great speed. Showing bunt and bunting at it is Houck. Interesting decision there on the 0-1. Tried to bunt a breaking ball that was really diving down and away. Houck's had a good day at the plate already. A single into right and a hit by pitch. Schwimmer leading from second. Here's the 0-2 to Houck. They'll think about throwing back that way, but Navarrete not able to get over there in time. Schwimmer not a real big lead out there. He knows he'll be able to get moving on the crack of the bat. No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Off the plate as Servin has to go out and get it. Some of the PBA women's lacrosse players entering the stadium now over to our left. Probably just done with some practice. They're in action tomorrow on the road at the University of Tampa. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Houck in the dirt. Again, nicely blocked by Servin. It'll be a busy day in Sailfish Athletics tomorrow. Both lacrosse teams on the road. We'll have the University of Tampa women's tennis team here in the morning at 10 a.m. Baseball in Tampa get going at noon. Softball in Florida Southern at 1 o'clock. We'll have some alumni events. We'll have an Easter egg hunt going on here as well. A men's soccer ID camp. Plenty to see here. 2-2 as Schwimmer's on the move. Here's the throw down to third. He'll steal the bag, but it doesn't matter. It was strike 3 to Houck. Schwimmer got a good jump. Would have stolen it, but Houck takes strike 3. Sailfish do retake the lead, though, on the Schwimmer RBI double. It's 4-3. We'll answer our trivia question when we come back.
Aramark serves as the official food service provider of Palm Beach Atlantic University. Whether it's the Fraser Dining Hall, Einstein Brothers Bagels, or our very own Green Complex Chick-fil-A, the friendly folks of Aramark are ready to serve the PBA community. Aramark serves over 1,500 colleges and universities worldwide with 270,000 employees meeting the needs of their clients every day. Find out more by visiting aramark.com. Every Sailfish team aims to look good on and off the field. So when it comes to our Nike apparel needs, we always turn to AdPro Sports. From uniforms to practice gear and everything in between, AdPro Sports outfits all 17 Palm Beach Atlantic sports teams while serving as a one-stop shop from concept to reality. Learn more by visiting adprosports.com.
All right, top half of the 5th inning. Sailfish lead this one 4-3. Here's our trivia question once more. A reminder, what MLB team has been part of the largest and least attended games? You see the answers choices there. Here's your final answer. Chicago White Sox. The White Sox versus the Dodgers in the 1959 World Series had 92,706 fans. The White Sox versus the Orioles in 2015, a regular season game, had 0 fans. And you might be asking, how is it 0? Well, there was the Baltimore protests at that time, and there was a security risk associated with that game. MLB came down and said it's too much of a risk, but we need to play the game. And it was televised, so fans were able to stay in tune with what was going on, but a very weird scenario to have no fans at a Major League game. I remember seeing the highlights. So it's the Chicago White Sox. We did not have any correct answers tonight. I think everybody's here at the ballpark. We had several that answered, but they were incorrect as this one's launched to center. Drifting back is Schwimmer near the wall. He will have room, though. You got to get your big boy swings in to get it out over that center field fence as Torrealba gave it a ride, but into the glove of Derek Schwimmer. We'll start things off here in the 5th. Sun is set behind us. The lights are on. And it should be a nice remainder of the evening in this battle between the Spartans and the Sailfish. Thank you for those that did participate in our trivia. We'll have another one in game 2. This one's hit into right center field. Running after it is Schwimmer. He will not be able to make the play. It'll get by him. Coming up behind it was Brandon Smith as Freitas thought about trying to stretch it, but wisely hit the brakes, and he's got a 1-out double. You wonder if the word of encouragement from the Spartan staff might be to try and get after the first good one you see from Mitchell Carroll, as they've taken 2 first-pitch swings and put a charge into it both times. This one just beyond the reach of Schwimmer out there in right center. As Freitas has his first hit of the series, he also has a sacrifice fly. So now 1 for 2. Here's Alec Aliewine, who's 1 for 2 as well. He has an RBI single in the 3rd. That was a 3-run 3rd for UT. This one crushed past the first base coach. You see some of the numbers of the Sailfish senior class out there. It looks like a very long phone number done by our own Chris Dietrich in classic Chris Dietrich painting style. Looks good out there. We'll honor our senior class prior to game 3, so it'll be in between the doubleheader tomorrow. So we will have that on our airwaves. So if you can't make it out in person and want to tune in, we'll have that here for you. 0-1 now. Buried below the knees of Aliewine. Danny Servin waits on deck. He's been on both times, once via catcher's interference and once via single. Aliewine got an RBI single his last time up when he hit it on the right side. It hit a ramp and went into right field for an RBI hit. This one almost hits his jersey. He has the elbow guard out there on the front, as so many players do nowadays at the college level up through the pros. Palm Beach Atlantic softball now extending their lead to 6-0. This one tapped right side again. Coming up for it and making the easy scoop is Tuffarello. He'll take it all the way in. A productive out for Aliewine. You wouldn't be surprised to see Aliewine receive some of the treatment you see so much in the big league level now and throughout professional baseball of the shift. He appears to be a dead pull hitter. It's a small sample size for me, but big guy, big open stance, and he takes his guts. Carroll trying to get out of the jam with this 1-run lead. First pitch swing again. This one from Danny Servin is fouled back. The Spartans, of course, led by the longtime duo of Joe Urso and Sam Militello, the associate head coach for Coach Urso. This one up and in. The tandem were teammates as Spartans and have done a fantastic job developing the Spartans program into a perennial national contender. They're in the thick of things again this year. 1-1. Outside corner called strike 2. Gabriel Colon calling the balls and strikes. Kevin Flay on the bases. They'll be here, of course, again tomorrow. Flip-flopped in game 2 and then back to this tandem in game 3. Carroll has not gotten a lot of strikeouts tonight. He'd love hit one right here. 1-2. Stays high as Perez tried to snatch it down for a strike. Instead, it'll go to 2-2 to Servin, the former Tennessee Volunteer. Here it is, 2-2. Stays high again. Of course, he does have a couple of bases open. But you know he'd like to put him away on this 3-2 offering coming up next. Sailfish lead at 8-6 in hits, 4-3 in runs. Here's the payoff. Popped up. Will it stay in play? Perez drifting back. Discards the mask near the backstop. Will not be able to make the play as it just went over the netting and into the first row of stands there. Hope everybody's all right. A lot of foul territory to work with here at the Jake. If you spent any time in the University of Tampa, you know that ball would have been well out of play. They play at the friendly confines that are known as the bird cage. They've got netting around the majority of their baseball complex in beautiful downtown Tampa. Here's a 3-2 again. Breaking ball got him looking. Fist pump from Carroll ends the threat here in the top half of the 5th inning. Sailfish hold that 4-3 lead. We go to the bottom half. One more look as Carroll turns over the breaking ball nicely and freezes Servin for the final out of the inning.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, Sailfish leading 4-3. The heart of the order here against Kevin Pimentel. Danny Tuffarello, Brandon Seltzer, and Connor Rowland will look to do damage. Tuffarello has had a tough night so far. A fly out to center and then a 1-2-3 double play to end the threat. This one launched to left center field. Looks like it'll get held up in the jet stream though, as Blair will settle under it a couple feet from the warning track. Tuffarello gives it a ride, but as we mentioned with Torrey Alba's swing an inning ago, you really got to get it up and going to get it out here. That's what's been impressive about the Sailfish work with the long ball this year. For the last 4 seasons playing their home games here at the Jake, it's not been a real homer-friendly environment, but they've still found themselves with 30-plus homers, which has not been the norm, I'll say, for Sailfish baseball, but it's been nice to see. Seltzer leads the way with 7 round trippers. He's hit a couple of them here at home. 1-0, outside corner. Pimentel putting it in there to even it up. Kevin's not been as sharp as he probably has been throughout this season. He's given up 8 hits in 4 1/3, but he's worked around a couple jams. Made a nice defensive play on Tuffarella to start the double play that got him out of that second inning jam with just 2 runs scored. Bases were loaded. He got the tapper back to the mound and made good work of it. Seltzer has doubled and singled, but he was a little greedy last time up, looking for another extra base hit. Went too far around first, and Spartans were able to chase him back. That led things off in the 3rd. We're now in the 5th. He's up in a count now 3-1. He puts a good swing on this one, but fouls it away. Sailfish softball leading 6-0 as they're looking to open up their series with a W against the Moccasins of Florida Southern, who are in town. 3-2. Hits one hit deep to right, but drifting over is Freitas. He'll come back in now as the wind really playing tricks with that one. I think Seltzer may have hit it a little bit off the end of the bat as well, so he's retired for the first time. Quickly 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th. Roland hoping to get his first hit of the series. 0 for 2 with a pop out to center. A ground out to third and a strikeout swinging on a nasty slide piece from Kevin Pimentel. Starts him off with another breaking ball that looked to be maybe a little inside, but it caught the corner. See a lot of representation of Sailfish athletics here tonight from different teams, as this one's in the dirt. Looks like some Sailfish women's soccer players are behind home plate area there, as well as Sailfish women's lacrosse there on the right side of your screen. Looks to be a pretty good crowd over at softball as well. Here's the 1-1, and that's been the pitch he's got Connor on a couple times now. If I was Connor, I'd be looking in a similar spot here again on a 1-2. Pimentel ready. Breaking ball in the dirt. Roland has evened it up now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Connor out of Boca Raton will be one of those seniors we honor tomorrow in between games. In his 3rd year playing for Palm Beach Atlantic after transferring from Taylor University in Indiana. 2-2. Breaking ball. Popped up but foul. Connor, as he always does, wearing the old school navy blue stirrup socks. Carrying on the tradition of at least one PBA baseball player, my recent memory, always wearing the stirrups. Last few years, it had been Sean Horner, former PBA pitcher. 2-2. This one fouled back, got a fastball up and put a good swing on it, but couldn't turn it around. Rolling back in the box, waiting for the 2-2 offering again from Pimentel, who takes a deep breath and delivers. Breaking ball kind of backed up on him and went inside. Connor's worked a good at bat here. Was down 0-2, worked it full. Pitch is starting to pile up for Pimentel. He's up over 80 now. 3-2. Tapper right back to him, though. Easy play. He'll run it halfway over and make the toss. A very easy bottom of the 5th for the Tampa starter. We go to the top of the 6th. Sailfish still leading this one 4-3.
Well, it's been a busy day of college football. Let's get caught up on the action. First up, Alabama. This play right here shows what eating chicken will do for you. Lots of broken tackles here. It's the chicken.
No idea what you're talking about.
Joey Galloway is here with chicken predictions.
My what?
Touchdown chicken.
Okay, are we filming right now?
Chicken, 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 chicken.
What is going on?
I don't know. Oh, that was weird.
New management.
Start your game day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
Sometimes it's hard to tell from the outside what a personal injury law firm actually does. We're busy meeting our clients, learning about their injuries, and hearing about how the accident has affected their life. We do all the work to make sure the insurance company takes your case seriously. We strategize and we prepare for trial. We spend our days and even our nights pursuing justice and protecting the rights of our clients. That's what we do.
Top half of the sixth inning. Mitchell Carroll back out there for another inning of work. He's at 84 pitches, so Sailfish bullpen is busy, getting ready in case they're needed here in the sixth. Hope you're enjoying your broadcast view from wherever you're watching from tonight. Of course, if you're not familiar with Palm Beach Atlantic University's sports broadcasting program, it's a new venture in its second year as an academic program through our School of Communication and Media. We're certainly very thankful for Professor Don Piper and his leadership, along with our athletic communications staff, to put on these broadcasts night after night, now year after year. First pitch swinging again, as this one is off the bat of Durr. Giving a good long look at it is Tuffarello, but he runs out of room over there near the tarp, which we hope stays right in its position. Calling for good weather tomorrow. Durr on the afternoon/evening has struck out and has an RBI single. This one again slashed foul. Things moving merrily along in both games, both in the sixth inning. 0-2, this one too high. Of course, PBA softball. I say that, they're actually only in the bottom of the fifth. They lead at 6-0 over there at Simpson Field. Sailfish lead at 4-3 here at the Jake. Breaking ball off the plate and nicely blocked by Perez, but it's even now 2-2. Of course, softball only a 7-inning contest, and they do have an 8-run mercy rule that the Sailfish are within striking distance of. Here's the 2-2. This one off the plate, and Durr's worked it all the way back. Carroll finished off the Spartans in the fifth with a strikeout looking of Danny Servin, his third strikeout, and the first since the second inning. They'll go to a 3-2 now. Launch to deep left center field. Schwimmer giving chase. Going as far as he can go at the wall. He'll make the grab. A lot of territory covered there by the speedy Sailfish center fielder, and he hauls it in right in front of the Sunshine State Conference logo. On some nights, Nick Durr would be rounding the bases with a round tripper. On a night like tonight, where the wind is not playing in his favor, it was hauled in. You can see why, if you're a Spartan fan, that the Sailfish have recruited speedy outfielders like Derek Schwimmer and Brandon Seltzer, Brandon Smith, that cover a lot of ground. The Spartans, first the pitch to Mangrum, is taken on the outside corner, strike one. Of course, like all the SSC teams, they're on a rotational basis. Every other year, essentially, is the way things work, a home and away. 1-0. This one crushed to left. Seltzer will come on and field it on a hop, as Mangrum is now 1 for 3. But a couple of years ago, before Palm Beach Atlantic was in as an official member of the Sunshine State Conference, the Spartans came here to Rubin Park, and it was a very memorable series for several reasons. One of which was an ejection of head coach Joe Urso, in which he was very justified in his argument. It was a very poor call on that day by the umpire. But Coach Urso put on a show. and put on a show that some of us that were here on that day still remember to this day and will review from time to time for comedy purposes on the video. This one taken inside for a strike to Danny Blair. Coach Urso was very animated. He's not the largest coach in the country. In fact, he'd probably be listed as one of the smaller ones. But, of course, very accomplished. And he put on a show and got his money's worth. That is for sure. Here's the 0-1 now. Popped up in the infield. Who's going to take it? Looks like Hauk will call off Harold. The H-boys on the left side almost converge. So now there are 2 away. We'll see if Mangrum might try and swipe a bag. Try and get in scoring position. Mangrum 2 out of 2 in stolen bases. As Nick DeTringo has been on both times. Once via hit, once via hit by pitch. Carroll would love to get through 6. Throws this one up high, and it's ball 1. DeTringo ready in the box. Here it comes. Off the plate. Carroll checks the runner over at first. He's fallen behind on DeTringo 2-0. He'll throw over as Mangrum scampers back. The Spartans have 7 hits now. They trail it by 1 in both hits and runs. 8-7 in hits, 4-3 in runs. Sailfish have made the only error in the game. Fastball outside corner. Carroll has to be careful there. He was very close to not stopping on the set and delivery. Two balls, 1 strike as Carroll checks his man again. Here it comes. This one a good swing, but fouling it back to the screen is DeTringo. DeTringo out of Ruskin, Florida, went to St. Petersburg Junior College. I'm not familiar with Ruskin. Our in-house Florida expert, Alexis Brown, tells us it's near Tampa. About an hour from Tampa, as Coach Bottenfield's going to come through and have a chat with his right-hander and his catcher. So if you're thinking about a weekend getaway, think about Ruskin. And if you have questions, stop by and see Nick DeTringo. He is a senior and has been a good ball player for the Spartans these last few years after transferring over from St. Petersburg Junior College, a guy who, I wouldn't call him a homebody, but he has played his junior college ball in the Bay Area at St. Pete and then at Tampa for his remaining eligibility. And looking at the map there, Ruskin appears to be near Apollo Beach and Sun City. Not to be confused with Sin City, but that's a little further west. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back, waiting to the last moment for DeTringo to swing at that one. He got just a piece. DeTringo has singled and scored and been hit by a pitch, was cut down trying to steal on one of the more impressive throws you're going to see from a college catcher. It was a laser down there from Marcos Perez. He's choking up on the bat here. 2-2 again. Popped away. Good battle going on here from Carroll and Nick DeTringo. If DeTringo were to reach, it would be Mikey Navarrete who would get his chance. It'll be interesting to see what the Sailfish do in the 7th inning. They've got a decision to make if they can get out of this one unscathed with Carroll. He's nearing the century mark on pitches And they have likely Orson Josephina looming. Here's the 2-2 again. Popped up again. Will Machado be able to haul this one in? No, it's Tuffarello looking up into the night sky. Can't find it, but it's well out of play. I don't think anyone saw that one off the bat very well, as Machado was playing somewhat up the middle again. And unlike what we saw earlier in the night, where he tracked a long foul ball, so Detringo back in the box, trying to win this battle. Mangrum leading from first. Here's the 2-2 again. This one hit at Houck. He'll make the play to an E, and this time it goes to Mitchell Carroll. We go to the bottom half of the sixth. Sailfish would love some insurance. They lead it 4-3.
Academy Bus is the largest privately owned and operated transportation company in the United States and is the official out-of-town transportation provider of Sailfish Athletics. With a central operations center located here in Palm Beach County, Academy Bus is who our Sailfish teams turn to for away game trips. For more information or to reserve a trip for your group, visit academybus.com. When it comes to a post-game meal celebration, the Sailfish always turn to Buffalo Wild Wings. Founded in 1982 with one restaurant in Columbus, Ohio, Buffalo Wild Wings has grown to at least one location in all 50 states and specialize in providing a fun-filled atmosphere and great-tasting food. Visit the West Palm Beach location at 4576 Okeechobee Boulevard for your next family dinner or group outing.
Kevin Pimentel back out there again. Let's take a look at that inning-ending defensive play for the Sailfish as Detringo smashed it to the glove side of Sean Houck. Actually the arm side, but he went across his body and made a nice play. And apparently, something I haven't noticed about Sean Houck through almost 2 full seasons is apparently he likes to touch third base before he heads back to the dugout. Servin throws it down to second, and we're ready for action once again here in the bottom of the sixth. I'm Michael Brown. Hope you're enjoying your view from your home or office. Maybe you're on the road listening to us in the car. Hope our pictures are coming in loud and clear of Sailfish baseball versus the University of Tampa. Of course, Tampa had that tough weekend last weekend, but are still nationally ranked in multiple polls of Division II. They have been as high as number 1 this season in a couple of different polls. Pimentel's first offering to Brandon Smith is fouled back. Brandon has walked and scored and grounded out to shortstop on a nice play by Nick Detringo to end the third inning. We talked about Nick's hometown of Ruskin, Florida. It was told in between innings. First the 0-1 as this breaking ball is tossed in there nicely. And Ruskin is home to an Amazon warehouse. Distribution center, I guess, would be another term for it. So plenty of jobs to be had, I'm sure, in Ruskin. And last I checked, Amazon's still doing okay. They're still pumping out a few goods here and there. Smith down in the count, 0-2 from Pimentel. Good breaking ball, but Smith so far tonight has done a good job of laying off that pitch. My colleague TJ Budd to my left, who's handling statistics and official scoring tonight, tells me that that Amazon warehouse is 10 times the size of one Home Depot store. 1 and 2. This one nowhere near and back to the backstop, really trying to pull that fastball. So as we've seen a few times with Carroll and Pimentel tonight, they've gotten ahead 0-2, but both teams have been pesky to pile up the pitches. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No outs here in the sixth. That's changed, though, as Pimentel picks up the strikeout. You can see why he's good. Mixes a good fastball, and that nasty low in the zone breaking ball. One more look here. That's a major league kind of curveball there, as Brandon Smith did everything he could to try and make contact, but that one looks like it's going to be about the knees and then falls out of the zone. Been a good ball game. A lot of the scoring here early, but Sailfish have scored in 3 different innings. The Spartans just won, but they put up a 3 spot. As Harold shows bunt, but pulls it back. Good to see the Harold family in attendance here tonight. They are right above Riley's helmet, or they were before he stepped back in the box. Mrs. Harold in the bright pink shirt. Mr. Harold there to her right, our left on the screen. 1-0. This one too high. Riley, a good weekend last time in Miami Shores against Barry. As it looks like Palm Beach Atlantic softball going to cruise to an opening night victory over the Mocs. They're up 7-0. Taking all the way, it appeared, as Harold is up in the count 2-1. Sailfish pitching limiting the Moccasins to just 2 hits in that game. They've had 12 of their own, and they've scored 7 times. 2-1. Big swing by Harold, but he comes up empty. It's now a 2-2 count. Tampa 25-10 overall, 11-7 in the SSC. Sailfish 18-17 overall and 8-10. 2-2 as Pimentel from the windup fouled off. Riley in this game had a nice single to left. His first time up in the bottom of the second. He would come around to score on a Ramon Machado RBI single. Actually, it was a Derek Schwimmer single that's plated Harold. Smith scored on the Machado single. Time is called. Riley not really been tested much at shortstop tonight, but we know what he's capable of. 2-2. Breaking ball, got him looking. 2 strikeouts here in the 6th inning for Pimentel, who is now set down 6 in a row. One more look here. This has been his money pitch. Hit the target perfectly, and all Harold could do was look and walk back to the dugout. Here's Perez. Perez 0 for 1 officially, laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. My apologies, that was the 2nd, and struck out in the 4th. That fastball misses again. Looks like he muscles up a little bit every once in a while and really tries to throw it through his catcher and just holds on to it a little too long. He's issued just 1 walk. That came to Brandon Smith to lead off the 2nd. He's hit 1 batter as well. That was Sean Houck. 1-0 offering as Perez sees that one hit the top half of the zone. When we come back in the top of the 7th, we'll take a look at some scores around the Sunshine State Conference tonight. As this breaking ball misses. Pimentel played his high school baseball at Mount Verde Academy. Oh, he's familiar with state of Florida as this fastball misses. It's a hitter's count. Last season, Pimentel all Sunshine State Conference selection, all ABCA Rawlings first team, NCBWA second team selection. 2-time SSC Pitcher of the Week last year. Has picked up where he left off as Perez, kind of a late attempt at that swing, fouls it off. It's a 3-2 count. At the University of Miami, he was not stuck on the bench. He made 18 appearances as a freshman, 15 as a sophomore, before opting to make his way to Tampa. Here's a 3-2 off the plate. He loses Perez on the payoff pitch. So good at bat there. And Pimentel now over the century mark. There is activity in the UT pen. He's thrown 101 pitches. And Machado will hopefully get him to throw a couple more. You would assume this will probably be Pimentel's last inning, but he could be tasked with going out there for 1 more. We'll see what the Sailfish counter with in the top of the 7th. As this breaking ball's in there, and as we've gone deeper and deeper into this game, it appears the UT right-hander has gone with more and more breaking balls. He seems to have found a groove. both early and late in the counts. He's got 2 strikeouts in this inning, both of them on breaking balls. One looking, one swinging. 0-1 on the move, as this is a perfect hit and run play. Perez is going to round second, head for third. The throw will come into second base, and the Sailfish, as they did earlier in the game, have something working with 2 outs. Perfect hit and run there as Perez was on the move, got a huge jump. I think he would have stole it if Machado hadn't slapped it through the left side, but now Ramon 3 for 3. Great production out of the 9 spot, something we saw him do last weekend as well, after moving from the number 2 spot into the 9 hole. Didn't try and do too much, just slapped it through the left side. Here's Schwimmer. He's got a couple of hits. In fact, the biggest hit of the night probably in the go-ahead RBI double back his last at bat in the bottom of the 4th. He could do some more damage here if he can plate another run. This one taken too high. And you would assume, at least I'll assume, this is probably going to be Pimentel's last batter. I would assume they're not going to give him much more of a chance to work too much deeper into this game. Maybe they leave him in to face the right-handed hitting Sean Houck. We'll see. Hopefully that's a scenario that we see play out here. Breaking ball, just a little low, and it's 2-0 to the Sailfish center fielder. Coach Urso a couple of steps out from the UT dugout now, pondering his next move. He wears number 1 on his jersey, so does Derek Schwimmer. And they're very similar size, too. 2-0. Here it comes. Schwimmer watches that one. Good pitcher's pitch. Coach Urso, a very good player in his own right when he was in his college days at UT. Mentioned his long coaching relationship with his associate head coach, Militello, who was a pick of the New York Yankees. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and slashed, but back to the netting. And I said he was wearing number 1. I was mistaken. He's wearing number 7. It looked like a number 1 from here, but indeed it is 7, it appears. So now a 2-2 count. One of the bigger spots in our game. Runners at the corners. Schwimmer at the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. In the dirt. And now Machado will get an extra start from first base. If he walks him, Houck would be waiting on deck. Schwimmer's gone to left once and right center once for a single and a double. Has driven in 2. Half the Sailfish runs tonight. They lead at 4-3. Here's the 3-2 again. Machado on the move. Down low, ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning, both with 2 outs and nobody on. Sandwiched around a single by Machado has loaded them up for Sean Houck. How much does Coach Urso trust his starter? How much does he trust that bullpen? As Houck will get a word of encouragement from third base coach Bo McMillan. Sailfish lead by 1. They'd love 1 or 2 or 3 more right here. Houck has gone 1 for 2. Singled and scored in the first on the RBI double from Brandon Seltzer. Was hit by a pitch in the second and struck out looking in the 4th. The Spartans will play him straight away, but first time is called, and maybe Coach Urso has made his decision. He has. He has pointed to the bullpen. He waited a while. May have wanted to get his reliever a couple extra tosses. We'll see who's coming out of the UT pen right after these messages.
Academy Bus is the largest privately owned and operated transportation company in the United States and is the official out-of-town transportation provider of Sailfish Athletics. With a central operations center located here in Palm Beach County, Academy Bus is who our Sailfish teams turn to for away game trips. For more information or to reserve a trip for your group, visit academybus.com. Every Sailfish team aims to look good on and off the field, so when it comes to our Nike apparel needs, we always turn to AdPro Sports. From uniforms to practice gear and everything in between, AdPro Sports outfits all 17 Palm Beach Atlantic sports teams while serving as a one-stop shop from concept to reality. Learn more by visiting adprosports.com.
UT goes to their bullpen, and they call upon their closer here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. At least closer by definition of saves. He's got 6. That's Tyler Beck. This is 13th appearance, all in relief. He's got a 2.08 ERA. He's 1-1 and over 26 innings pitched. He struck out 31 in that time. Has walked 10. Given up just 18 hits in 26 innings. So he's a guy they call upon in high leverage situations, which is exactly what we have here. Bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. Sailfish 2-hole hitter Sean Houck coming back to the plate. Probably imagine he's got himself a scouting report delivered to him from the dugout on Mr. Beck. And it looks like it'll be a battle of the bullpens from here on out. We'll see. Beck from the stretch with the bases juiced. Here's his first offering. Cued off the end of the bat as Houck falls behind 0-1. Tyler Beck out of South Bend, Indiana, went to Pasco Hernando. He's a senior. You imagine he's probably a Fighting Irish fan. Found his way to Florida now. 0-1 to Sailfish third baseman. Here it comes. Grounded left side. Coming in to make the play is Durr. He'll take his time. Throw across. It gets away. 2 runs will score, maybe more. Houck will make his way to second. They're going to wave Schwimmer to the plate. Here's the relay. It won't be made. Goes into third. Houck's in standing. And the Sailfish pile it on here. It's now 7-3. Should have been out number 3, but the throw gets away from third baseman Nick Durr. And Palm Beach Atlantic thankful for that. They now lead at 7-3. That got exactly what he was hoping for. A weak ground ball that Nick Durr had no trouble fielding. One more look here. Kind of chopped his way. He got the good hop, took his time, and then threw it away. Aliewine tried to make the dive and hold the bag at the same time. If he could do it all over again, he might try and come off and at least corral it, and only 1, maybe 2 would score. But Schwimmer, with those great wheels, was able to motor around. And Houck never stopped running. He made it all the way into third, and it really wasn't a close play. Freitas and Navarrete had to try and corral it, and we've talked about it many a time, how much foul territory there is when a ball gets away here at Rubin Park. It really gets away. Here's Tuffarello, 0 for 3 tonight. He'd love to add on here for the 4-run lead. 1-0 from Beck. Off speed, and he catches a corner. Nice pitch. So we'll see if that alters the Sailfish pitching plans. Mitch Carroll is over 100 pitches, just over. But he's pitched very well. The Sailfish bullpen, of course, with no midweek game, is very rested. There is activity down there as Beck kind of taking his time here. No one in the ballpark feels worse right now than Nick Durr. threw that ball away after a routine play. It happens. Happens to the best of them. 1-1 now to Tough. This one grounded back up the middle off the glove of Beck. Charging is Navarrete. He will make the play. Saving a run potentially there was the glove work of Beck, who slowed that one down. And that will end the Sailfish threat. But they get 3 runs on a overthrow from third baseman Nick Durr. We'll go to the 7th inning. 7-3, Sailfish on top.
Do you want Sailfish content delivered straight to your inbox? Sign up for the Sailfish Scoop at pbasailfish.com to get customized content delivered directly to your email as soon as it's available online. Customize your content to stay current with your favorite teams, or get it all to know the latest from all 17 programs. Sign up today for the Sailfish Scoop at pbasailfish.com. The Sailfish Booster Club is responsible for raising funds to support our athletic teams with travel, uniforms, and equipment. Even small gifts can go a long way in supporting our teams. It is only through the generous gifts of all of our supporters that all the costs of our athletic programs can be funded. If you are currently a member, thank you. If you are not, please visit pbasailfish.com/give today and become a member of the Sailfish Booster Club.
Sailfish will go to their bullpen here after Mitchell Carroll gives them 6 solid innings. We'll get you his numbers here in just a moment. They'll pass it on to their closer, as both closers are in the game pretty early tonight, but that probably tells you the importance of the Friday night affair, as it'll be Orson Josefina, one of those seniors that will be recognized tomorrow for his accomplishments in a PBA uniform in his second season. And his second season has been one to remember. This will be his 15th appearance. He's 1-1 with an 0.64 earned run average. 28 innings pitched. He's got 39 strikeouts and just 7 walks. 5 saves on the year. This typically would not be a save situation, but if he goes the final 3 innings, he will work himself into that. And he will face the bottom and then top of the order for the Spartans. 7-3 our score, as this off-speed pitch must have been high, ball 1. He will face Mikey Navarrete, then Yorvis Torrealba and Sam Freitas if everything stays the same. Orson from the stretch. This one off the plate, and it's 2-0. Orson pitched last Friday night, was his last appearance. Got the save in that one, as this one in there for strike 1. As I mentioned, he started out really more of a middle relief option. 2-1 now, as he gets the corner, but he's earned the trust of his manager by pitching in some high leverage situations, and has really been thrust into this multi-inning role that has seen him thrive over and over again. 2-2. Tapper, Harold charging, fielding, throwing, and making a nice play, as Riley is tested for the first time tonight and passes the test with flying colors. Navarrette's been a tough guy on the Sailfish or it's had a tough night, I should say. He's 0 for 3, popped to short, and then was a tough luck victim of a batter's interference call when he bunted and the ball hit him outside the box. Here's Torrey Alba. He's hit the ball hard a couple of times. Has one hit to show for it. Back in that 3-run third, he doubled down the left field line. He's also lined to right and popped to deep left, or excuse me, deep center. Took Derek Schwimmer back to the warning track and near the fence before he hauled it in. Torrey Alba, a lot of moving parts in his swing, but he has got a fierce whip through the zone. He lays off that one, though, and it's 2-0. Josefina out of Wilmstead, Curacao. Came to Palm Beach Atlantic by way of Hillsborough Community College in his second season wearing the blue and white. 2-0, Coffering, here comes. Too high and a little amped up maybe is Josefina, missing with 3 straight here after going 2-0 to Navarrete. Last season, Orson made 16 appearances and 5 starts. Went 1-3, struck out a lot of batters, 42 in 37 innings as this one hits the outside corner. But he has really come into his own this season. After solid work at Hillsborough Community College, where he led them in innings pitched and strikeouts as a sophomore in 13 starts. 3-1 skied straight up. Perez, as the fans, the fans all head for the hills there, but it didn't actually get out of play, and Perez hauled it in. That was pretty funny. Everybody, including a lot of Sailfish student athletes, were scrambling to try to get out of the way, and it didn't actually end up coming into the stands area. So 2 up, 2 down for Josefina in the 7th. Here's Sam Freitas. Freitas has an RBI sac fly and a double tonight. One more look as this one watches Perez discard the mask. You see everybody trying to get away from that baseball, and Perez able to haul it in. This one misses up high. Actually, I guess it catches the zone. It's 0-1. This being Freitas' 4th plate appearance. Sacrifice fly being not an official at bat, so 1 for 2. Fastball inside, almost caught a corner. No, they say that was fooled me. I thought he put the arm out that it was a strike, but it's 1-1. Looked like Orson hit the spot pretty well. What does he come back with here against the right fielder Freitas? Setting up away is Perez. He elevates the fastball, and Freitas elevates it to right field. Smith waiting for it. Will make the catch, and a very easy inning in the top of the 7th is stretch time. We'll get you some scores when we come back.
Are you in need of the latest Sailfish gear? Visit pbasailfishgear.com for all the best in Sailfish products. The official online store of PBA Athletics has everything from t-shirts, sweatshirts, and polos to drinkware, business accessories, and even pet supplies. Visit pbasailfishgear.com, your one-stop shop for Sailfish swag.
Spartans go to their bullpen for a second time tonight. They're going to call on a big fella by the name of Cooper Krug. Cooper's out of Reno, Nevada, and a transfer from the University of Nevada, who as of this week has a new men's basketball coach after their previous head coach headed off to the University of Arkansas. And I believe they hired Steve Alford, former UCLA, Indiana, Iowa. Lots of coaching and playing stops for Coach Alford, now at Nevada, which is the former home of Cooper Krug. His first offering is in for a strike to Brandon Seltzer. Brandon has got a double and a single tonight. Lined out to right his last time up. Those all against starter Kevin Pimentel as this breaking ball stays high. Krug, a big fella. See if we can get the height and weight of him here in just a moment. This one sky to center. Pointing it out is Navarrete, but drifting over and making the easy catch is Danny Blair. So one up, one down for Krug. Krug listed as 6'6", 235. Here comes Connor Rowland. Krug made 3 appearances last year with the Spartans for just 8 innings in his first year after a stop at Cabrillo College in California. And I believe he played at the University of Nevada, Reno, after graduating from Reno High School. 1-0 now to Connor, the DH for the Sailfish tonight. Takes a good cut, but a little tardy. Krug's been outstanding when used out of the bullpen. This is just his 6th appearance. 6 2/3 under his belt. He's allowed only 1 run. He's struck out 6 and walked 1. And he's 1-0 with a 1.35. Slap towards the left side. Here's Durr. Another chance for him. Low throw again. And Aliwine able to dig it out nicely. Well, the big play in the game, of course, the overthrow from Nick Durr last inning, which allowed 3 runs to score. That one looked very similar, and a great pick over there from the first baseman, Aliwine. Almost an identical play. Durr had plenty of time to think about it. And sometimes that can be the worst thing for a fielder. Here's Smith. Would like to get something started with 2 outs. He'll watch the big fastball from Krug miss low. Ball 1. Smith watches another heater, but it's low, and he's up in the count 2-0. He's been patient tonight. Walked in the second, came around to score. Has worked good at bats in his other 2 plate appearances, but was a ground out to short and a strikeout swinging against our starter, Pimentel. Tapper, right side, didn't mean to. Little kick of the dirt there for Smitty, as the guys call him. Waiting on deck is Harold, but there are 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Swung on and missed as Smith tried to golf that one. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as Krug stands atop the hill ready to go. This one misses down low, so it'll go to a full count. Krug's got some socks with a logo on them. It doesn't appear to be the Spartans logo. I'm not sure if our camera folks can get a better look at that, as this one plunks Smith. Could be the Spartans logo. It's a long way for me to see, but he's got the pant legs just below the kneecaps. Doesn't appear to be a Spartans logo to me. Here's Riley Harold. The Sailfish have done some damage tonight with 2 outs. They got some help from the UT defense last inning. Harold, a part of that last inning attack when he and Smith went down on strikes to start things in the 6th. This one skied to left. Drifting out of the shortstop to Tringo. Coming in is Mangrum. It'll be Mangrum making the catch. We're through 7. 7-3. Sailfish lead it.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
As Division II student athletes, we are committed to being our best.
Division II National SAC is proud to partner with the Sports Science Institute to play a role in the cardiac safety and health of student athletes.
Although many student athletes with heart conditions live healthy, active lives, up to 10 NCAA student athletes die each year of sudden cardiac death during athletic activities.
The facts are that immediate delivery of CPR and AED saves lives, so everyone should be CPR and AED trained. Please join us in this important initiative. Make it yours.
Top half of the 8th inning, Orson Josefina will go back to work. Let's get you caught up on some scores around the Sunshine State Conference. Eckerd currently leading number 14 ranked Embry-Riddle 13-2. That in Daytona Beach. So the Eagles, after their big road sweep of the University of Tampa last week, coming out flat here on Friday night. They're in the 8th, 13-2. They trail. Nova Southeastern putting a whooping on Lynn University today at Lynn University at 16-2. Fighting Knights making 5 errors in that game. Florida Southern holding on a 4-1 lead at the moment in the bottom of the 7th against Florida Tech. That's up in Melbourne tonight. Of course, you know our score, 7-3. Sailfish leading this one. St. Leo and Rollins locked up in a good one in Winter Park at Alphonse Stadium. It's 3-3 going to the bottom of the 8th. Everything else we'll catch up with you tomorrow on, as plenty of action in the SSC. This one tapped right side, just down the first base line. It's a fair ball, gets away from Tuffarello, and Aliwine will reach. He's pretty consistent, pulls it with regularity over there, as Tuffarello was right along the first base line. And that'll be Aliwine's second hit. He grounded out to Tuffarello his last time up. So Josefina gives up his first hit. He went a perfect 1-2-3 in the 7th. Aliwine now 2 for 4. Here's Danny Servin. Good pitch on the outer half as Josefina goes back to work. Servin so far tonight has reached on a catcher's interference, singled, and struck out looking. 0-1 in the dirt. Perez corrals it nicely. Servin's strikeout looking was probably on Mitchell Carroll's best pitch of the night. It was a breaking ball after several fastballs had been fouled off by Servin. On a 3-2, he dropped it in there and really caught Servin off guard. Josefina. 1-1, here comes. Big swing there, but Servin not able to get on top of that heater. One of the last times Orson pitched on this mound on a Friday night, he had to almost disrobe when head coach Greg Brown of Nova Southeastern made an appeal to the umpires that he thought the Sailfish right-hander may have had some foreign substance out there. 1-2. Here it comes. Pulled the fastball a little bit. It was just outside. Umpires came out as they're instructed to do and checked Orson's glove, his belt, his hat, the inside portion of his waistband. They pretty much got everything covered. Orson just laughed and continued to put up strikeout after strikeout, and the Sailfish took 2 out of 3 of the Sharks here in West Palm Beach. This one, tapper right side. Tuffarello will tag the bag at first, then go to second. Smart play there by the Sailfish first baseman with the 4-run lead. Took him a second, it looked like, to find the first base bag, and when he did, Aliwine, who is pretty agile out there for a big guy. We already saw him score from second on a hit to left, and he was motoring down towards second base on that one. So Servin is out at first, 3 unassisted, and Aliwine moves to second. Here's Nick Durr. You know, Durr would like to make up for one of the big plays in the game. That was his defensive miscue, which took the Sailfish from a 1-run lead to a 4-run lead, which is where we stand now. Josefina has that ERA under 1 as time is called. You know, he'd love to keep it there. Durr, 1 for 3 on the night, an RBI single back in the third. This one sharply up the middle, past the dive of Harold, and Aliwine will come around to score. Nice piece of hitting there by Nick Durr, who picks up his second RBI single of the night. That one just, I believe, and maybe we'll see a second look at it here, got a bit too much of the plate. And Durr didn't try and do too much with it. Turned around a good fastball and played it Aliwine, who was sprinting around. So 7-4 our score. Hits are all even. Errors are even. 9-9 and 1-1. Sailfish hold the advantage in the more important category, however, and that's runs. Outside corner. Josefina bouncing back nicely with the pitch on the outside corner to Stevie Mangrum. Stevie, 1 for 3. Couple of pop-outs to second. One in foul territory that we saw Machado make an outstanding play on. 0-1. This one fouled back to the netting. The other one more of the routine variety, the pop-up in the second that Ramon was able to haul in easily. Outfield plays him deep and straight away. Outfield has played well tonight, as they have really all season. Wind blowing right to left, as it has all evening. Here's the 0-2. They go upstairs. Not biting, though, is Mangrum. Stevie, a transfer from Virginia Tech. He's from Charlottesville, Virginia, so chose VTech over the University of Virginia, which had a little something going on this week, I think. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fastball missing away. Yeah, lacrosse. Yeah, they did come through with a nice week of action, and their men's basketball team also coming away with their first ever national championship over Texas Tech. Exciting days in Charlottesville. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mangrum. Josefina delivers. And both teams have done a great job tonight of laying off borderline pitches. UT's been aggressive in the zone when they've gotten pitches, especially early in the count, but they've laid off some tough pitches. That one was one of them as well. We'll see. You wouldn't think they'd put him in motion. Durr leading from first. Here's the 3-2. Got him swinging. Josefina picks up his 40th strikeout of the season. Pretty impressive as a reliever. Perfect spot for this fastball. Little tailing action back over the plate. Probably was going to be a strike if he took it. And Mangrum loses the battle this time. He'll have to settle for a 1 for 4 night so far. Here's Danny Blair, one of the few players on either side that hasn't been on base tonight. He's 0 for 3. He tries to lay down a bunt, but he fouls it off. He's grounded to first, popped to center, and popped to third. You can understand why he might have wanted to try and push a bunt. Sailfish softball victorious tonight, 7-1. They pick up the series opening win over at Simpson Field. Abby Busby picking up her 19th win of the season. 0-1, here comes. Josephina delivers the fastball outside corner. 0-2. I believe those 19 wins are second all-time single season in Sailfish softball history. I have to double check that. And I'm told our senior third baseman, Maddie Burdish, picked up her 200th hit. On her birthday, no less. Here's the 0-2 from Josephina, trying to end the 8th. Popped up in the infield. Machado will wait for it. Right on the edge of the outfield grass. He'll make the catch. And Josephina gives up one, but the Sailfish still lead it 7-4.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% will go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
We go to the bottom of the 8th, 7-4 our score. Sailfish leading this one here in the bottom of the 8th inning as Cooper Krug goes back to work. He had a good inning of work in the 7th. He's already up on top of that hill. Ready to go again as he'll face Marcos Perez here to start things in the bottom of the 8th. Big swing and a miss there by the Sailfish senior catcher. Trying to get a look at those socks, and it is indeed a UT logo. Thanks for our good work behind the scenes, direction and camera work. Cooper's a large guy, 6'6", 235 is what he's listed at. He's every bit of that. And those legs have caused that logo to get a little stretched. I didn't think it looked more of like a Red Wing. Good look for him. Here's the 0-2 to Marcos. Breaking ball, hammered over towards shortstop, waiting for the ball is DeTringo. He'll fire across. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 8th. Sailfish and Spartans will do battle again twice tomorrow on Alumni Weekend. They'll square off at high noon here. I'll be with you tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if we have any special guests maybe join us at different points in the ball game, being Alumni Weekend. Maybe we can coax some of them to come up for an inning or two. This one on the outside corner. Strike one to Ramon Machado, who's had a 3-hit night. He's also scored twice and played his usual great defense at second. He may be finding a home he likes in that 9 spot. 0-1, popped into shallow right. Losing the hat is Navarrete. Over the head. He'll make the grab. I'm not sure if that was a Kenny Lofton type play there where the hat got thrown off. Some would call it a Bryce Harper play. Or if the wind really just got to him quickly, but he turned and that hat went flying off. So Machado is retired for the first time tonight. And quickly 2 up, 2 down. Cooper Krug may be working himself into more pressure situations in the future for Coach Urso. He is a senior, but has looked good here. Here's Derek Schwimmer. Derek's had a great night. 2 for 3, 2 RBIs, a single, a double, and a run scored after walking his last time, which set up the play of the game, the bases clearing error, where he motored around all the way from first to score. Showing bunt and then taking the pitch looked to be right over the heart of the plate, but I think maybe the fake bunt crossed everybody up. Schwimmer working the 2-0 count. Here's Krug's delivery. This off the plate, 3-0. Schwimmer has the batting gloves on and also what I would guess are base running gloves in the back pocket. Open stance, here's the pitch. This one up and in. Little chin music, and Schwimmer thankful to get out of that, the way of that high fastball, and he'll trot on down to first with a 2-out walk. Just what you want from your leadoff man. Last 4 times up, he's been on all 4. 2 via hit, 2 via walk, and he's also added on with a pair of RBI hits. Could be an opportunity here to try and swipe a bag. Pretty short lead, though. And he was leaning a little bit, and Krug checked in on him. Houck tonight has reached 3 times, singled, been hit by a pitch, and then reached on that error in the 6th inning that took this from a 1-run game to a 4-run game. We now are at a 3-run advantage, entering the late innings. First pitch to Houck. Krug with a slide step. High fastball called a strike. Good to see so many PBA alumni on hand here tonight. Likely see some more tomorrow and then even more on Sunday for the alumni gathering that'll take place here in West Palm Beach. No balls, 1 strike. Here it comes. Couldn't stop his swing, and it's even now. 0-2. Beg your pardon. No balls, 2 strikes to the Sailfish third baseman out of Royal Palm Beach. He likes to get right up on top of that plate. Almost takes away view of the umpire. Krug's ready. Here's the 0-2. Popped up. Should be an easy play in the infield. Who's going to take it? DeTringo or Durr? It'll be Durr calling for it, and he drops it. Tough night for the Spartans third baseman. He'll get a word of encouragement from his pitcher, but that one was as routine as it gets. And as I mentioned earlier, it just creeps up on you sometimes. Doesn't matter if you're in Little League or the major leagues. Baseball is as much mental as it is physical, and after that throwaway earlier, didn't look like he took his eye off of it. Just popped out of the glove. His second error of the night, second for the Spartans. 2 are aboard for Tuffarello. Ground ball at DeTringo, the shortstop. He'll flip to second, so no harm, no foul on the error. We'll go to the top of the 9th. Sailfish cling to the 3-run lead. They'll try and shut the door here on Friday night.
Honey, what are you doing?
Watching a cow.
Oh, what's it doing?
Impressions.
Start your day with the new Hash Brown Scramble Bowl from Chick-fil-A.
We're in the top of the ninth, 3 outs away from wrapping up baseball here tonight, as Palm Beach Atlantic has jumped out to a 7-4 lead. They've done it kind of throughout the night. 1 run in the first, 2 more in the second, 1 in the fourth, 3 in the sixth, and that's where we stand, 7-4. The Spartans scored 3 in the third and got 1 back in the top of the 8th. Josefina will go for his 6th save. Would be a 3-inning save, so he came in with a 4-run lead, gave up the 1, so he can't pitch himself into a save situation, but going the minimum of 3 innings, he would be able to pick up the statistical save. So here we go, top of the ninth. It'll be 8-9-1. DeTringo, Navarrete, and Torrealba set to face him. First pitch must have been a little high. And DeTringo will start things off. He's 1 for 2, has singled, been hit by a pitch, and lined out to third on a nice backhand play by Sean Houck. The 1-0 offering in there. Josefina, very manageable pitch count, 32. You would assume that'll probably take him out of action for tomorrow's games, but so many times that Friday night victory is the one the coaches seek. Can't blame the coaching staff and Coach Kent Bottenfield for putting his best arms out there. An outstanding outing for Mitchell Carroll. Went 6, and the hope here is that Josefina can close it out with a solid 9th inning. Got a ways to go, though. 2 balls, 1 strike to DeTringo. This one grounded left side. It will be just foul, as Houck was able to track it down on a nice play, but thankfully it was foul. Unlike some of the outings we've seen the last few weeks, Josefina only 1 strikeout in his 2 innings of work, but could get one right here if he can retire DeTringo on a swinging or looking strike. Two balls, 2 strikes as Josefina shakes off one sign. Now gets the next one from Perez. Here's the 2-2. Almost got him to offer it that high heater. Instead, it'll go full. DeTringo's put together some good at-bats tonight. He's done so again here in the top of the 9th. 3-2. Way up and in, and he works a leadoff walk. Not what the Sailfish were hoping for here. Well, the Spartans will dip into their bench here. Trying to get the pinch hitters. That'll be Cole Perry, Jacksonville, Florida, St. John's River Community College native. As Coach Bottenfield will go out for, one would assume, a scouting report. There's no activity in the Sailfish bullpen that is visible. So he'll go over perhaps the scouting report on Cole Perry. Perry on the season has seen a lot of action. He's appearing in his 28th game. He's started 20 times. 84 at-bats, 2 homers, 17 driven in. So a guy with plenty of experience. 25 of 84, he scored 17 runs. Perry, a third baseman, so with the defensive troubles of Nick Durr today, we may see him out there tomorrow as he looks at a first pitch fastball. That was a fairly generous call, it appeared. Sailfish middle infield hoping for a ground ball that they could turn 2 on, but at this point in the game, you know, they're just seeking outs. This one hit into center field and pretty well hit, but Schwimmer has a beat on it. He'll make the catch, fire it back in, and a big first out. So Perry, the pinch hitter, is retired. That'll turn the lineup back over to Jorvis Torrealba. I feel a lot better knowing that he could not tie the game with one swing. He's had some impressive cuts tonight. Has only one hit to show for it, but seems to be a threat each time he gets in the box. This one in there for strike 1. Torrealba likely has some family in the stands tonight. He's from Parkland, south of us here, about 45 or so minutes. 0-1 from Orson, fouled away. Good to see Josefina coming back, pumping strikes after the leadoff walk. Good crowd on hand. They've pretty much stuck it out. Talked about some of the Sailfish athletic teams that have decided to take part. Plenty of PBA baseball alums are in the stands around the ballpark. Hoping to see this one closed out in the Sailfish favor. 0-2. Where are they going? Too high, as Perez was almost standing when that one was delivered. Sam Freitas waits on deck. Sailfish would just as much rather see him play tomorrow. If Torrealba could hit it hard on the ground somewhere and maybe roll into a nice double play, that would be a nice bow to put on the night. 1-2. Here it comes. Outside corner, got him looking. Torrealba does not agree, but he will head back as Josefina's second strikeout victim of the night. He painted it, folks. May have been a little generous outside, let's see, but he hit the target perfectly. Had some tailing action back over the outside corner. Don't think we have K-Zone up and ready yet for the Sailfish Sports Network. Give us time, we'll get there. But that one has been pretty much a strike all night. But you can understand why Torrealba would want that call to go in his favor. As Freitas watches the first pitch strike in. Sailfish 1 out away from taking down the Spartans, which would be their 4th straight loss. Oh, 1. This one on the outside corner, 0-2. With the loss by Embry-Riddle tonight, the Spartans would not lose ground in the SSC standings. But you know they want to win every game they play, just as the Sailfish do. Here's the 0-2. Got him swinging, and Josefina shuts the door on an exciting 7-4 Friday night win here at the Jake, as Palm Beach Atlantic takes down the University of Tampa for the first win of the series. We'll be back for 2 more tomorrow. We'll take a quick break, get you the wrap-up totals, and get you set for tomorrow's action right after these messages.
The Sailfish Booster Club is responsible for raising funds to support our athletic teams with travel, uniforms, and equipment. Even small gifts can go a long way in supporting our teams. It is only through the generous gifts of all of our supporters that all the costs of our athletic programs can be funded. If you are currently a member, thank you. If you are not, please visit pbasailfish.com/give today and become a member of the Sailfish Booster Club. Are you in need of the latest Sailfish gear? Visit pbasailfishgear.com for all the best in Sailfish products. The official online store of PBA Athletics has everything from t-shirts, sweatshirts, and polos to drinkware, business accessories, and even pet supplies. Visit pbasailfishgear.com, your one-stop shop for Sailfish swag.
Final score here from Reuben Park. Palm Beach Atlantic 7, the University of Tampa 4. The well-played ball game, especially on the Sailfish side. They end up with 7 runs on 9 hits. They made 1 error. The Spartans had 4 runs on 9 hits as well, with 2 errors. Both teams left 8 men on base. This is how it happened. Sailfish jumped out to a 3-0 lead with 1 in the first, 2 more in the second. Tampa tied it with 3 runs in the third. Sailfish took that lead right back in the bottom of the fourth, however. It stayed 4-3 until the bottom of the sixth when the big play of the game happened. The Sailfish got 3 runs on 1 play. An error in the infield that put them up 7-3. The Spartans fought back for 1 in the 8th to make it 7-4. But the Sailfish and the good work of their pitching staff tonight of just 2 men, Mitchell Carroll and Orson Josefina, locked the door on this 7-4 Friday night victory. Kevin Pimentel got the loss, just his second of the season. He drops to 7-2. He went 5 2/3. Not his best stuff tonight, but he really battled. 9 hits, 7 runs, only 4 were earned though. 3 walks, 6 strikeouts. He threw 109 pitches. That came in for an inning and got the final out, I should say. And then Cooper Krug, 2 innings of good work out of the bullpen for the Spartans. On the Sailfish side, it was just the 2 men. As we mentioned, 6 solid innings from Mitchell Carroll. He allowed 7 hits, 3 runs. They were all earned. No walks, 3 strikeouts, and 102 pitches. Then it was the great work of senior Orson Josepina, getting his 6th save on 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, including the one that ended things. He threw 45 pitches, so we'll probably won't see him the rest of the series. Offensively for PBA, 3 batters with multi-hit games, 2 for Derek Schwimmer, 2 for Brandon Seltzer, and a great 3-for-4 night from Ramon Machado. Driving in a pair was Derek Schwimmer. He also added a pair of walks. For all of us here from the School of Communication and Media and the Sailfish Sports Network, we of course always want to acknowledge and thank those students and Professor Don Piper for their great work, as well as our athletic communications staff. We'll be back on the air shortly before 12 o'clock noon tomorrow afternoon for a double dip of action here at the Jake between the University of Tampa and Palm Beach Atlantic. Until then, I'm Michael Brown signing off for the final time tonight, 7-4. Sailfish take the opener, looking for the series win tomorrow afternoon. Good night, everybody.